Beginning with a gentle golden wind and light rain, the master of ceremonies, with a single stroke, surprises the world. This video is purely for entertainment, and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting, and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 826, Huangfu Family, Huangfu Tants, Blood Dragon Pillar. The next day, when Su Chen was about to go to Xianzhen City, a person came who Su Chen could not imagine. The saint of Hanyu sect, Zhanyu. Zhanyu, who came, was wearing a white long skirt, and her long hair was as shiny as ink, naturally draped to her waist, which was very attractive. Young Master Su, long time no see. Zhanyu looked at Su Chen and bowed slightly, but she sighed in her heart. At first, she was just a person in a small border town, but now she is the young master of the Qinglang Society, who is famous in one side. Yes, long time no see. I didn't expect Miss Hanyu to come to Jiangnan. Su Chen's face was a little surprised. Please sit down. Su Chen invited Zhanyu to sit down. This time I came to see young Master Su, mainly to ask young Master Su for a favor. While speaking, Zhanyu took out a portrait from her arms and put it on the table. On the portrait, there was a middle-aged man wearing a purple and gold robe. The middle-aged man had a majestic face, and his identity was not simple. This man is called Huangfu Tants, the third master of the Huangfu family in Shangyang County, Jiangnan. I would like to ask Su Xiaolong to help me snatch something from him. As for the reward, our Hanyu church will give a satisfactory reward. Zhanyu said. The Huangfu family is one of the four great families in Jiangnan. Among the four great families, the Huangfu family is very low-key, but its strength is extraordinary. I don't know what you want to steal. Su Chen did not refuse, nor did he agree immediately. Huangfu Tants recently got a blood dragon pillar in the Blood Cave Mountain. This thing is very useful to our Hanyu church. But my Hanyu church is not strong enough in Jiangnan, so I asked Su Xiaolong for help. Zhanyu said directly without hiding anything. Blood dragon pillar, you mean Huangfu Tants got a blood dragon pillar? Su Chen asked in a deep voice. Su Chen still knew about the blood dragon pillar. He read a lot of ancient books, and one of the books introduced the blood dragon pillar. The blood dragon pillar is the weapon of Zhu Yunzi, the first national teacher of the destroyed Great Chu Empire. It is rumored that it can condense thousands of blood and melt its body. It seems that young dragon chief Su knows about the blood dragon pillar. Then I won't explain anymore. I wonder if young dragon chief Su can accept this task. If you accept it, this is our deposit. It is rumored that young dragon chief Su is very interested in rare treasures. I wonder if young dragon chief Su likes these two deposits. Zhanyu took out a brocade box from his arms. The brocade box was opened. Inside was a jade card with a cow engraved on it. It was the cow card in the 12 zodiac cards. In addition to this jade card, there was also a pitch black bead. When you look at the bead, you can vaguely attract people's attention. The cow card in the 12 zodiac cards. But what is this bead? While Su Chen was talking, he checked the 12 zodiac cards in the brocade box, then raised the pitch black bead and frowned. Trigger the 12 zodiac cards cow card. Reward to orange lottery cards. Trigger, Cheyenne Mo mind bead. Cooperate with Cheyenne Mo Zen practice. Can increase the power of mind. Reward to orange lottery cards. Su Chen was introduced, but his face showed doubt. I don't know what this black bead is, but I know it can absorb people's thoughts. If you look at it for a long time, your spirit will decline. Zhanyu said. Su Chen put down the heavenly demon mind bead and looked at the 12 zodiac cards. This is the 12 zodiac cards. It is said that, if you gather them, you will have the opportunity to join the 12 heavenly palaces after entering the heavenly gate. You just take it out like this? Su Chen looked at Zhanyu and said. It is very difficult to gather the 12 zodiac cards. It is better to take it out as a deposit, Zhanyu said. Huangfu Tants' strength ranks second in the Huangfu family. He practices the Red Sun Flame Yanggong, one of the Huangfu family's unique skills. It is rumored that he has practiced this skill to the realm of transformation, and his condensed divine power is also a red sun phantom. If you want to snatch the blood dragon pillar from this person, I'm afraid you need to send a very strong master, otherwise, it will be impossible to snatch it, so these two things are not enough as a deposit. Su Chen closed the brocade box and said, although these two things are good for him, Su Chen wants more. After hearing Su Chen's words, Zihanayu pondered for a moment and said, I only have these two things on me for now. I will go back and prepare them. I will come to see Su Xiaolan in 5 days. By then, I will bring all the rewards. These two things will be my gift. Zihanayu pushed the brocade box in front of Su Chen and said, 5 days later? I'm afraid I'm not here, but someone will be waiting for you here. The person waiting for you is the one who helps you. He will measure the reward you give. Su Chen took the brocade box and said, now Zizaya Feng is here. When the time comes, Zihanayu will give a generous reward, and Zizaya Feng can also take action. The person waiting for you is very strong. Su Chen then said. After hearing Su Chen's words, Zihanayu nodded and immediately stood up and said, thank you for the reminder from Su Xiaolang Xiao. I will satisfy the senior with the reward. Zihanayu said and left in a hurry. This Hanayu sect has a very deep background. Su Chen muttered as he watched Zihanayu leave. Master, should we send someone to follow him? Yuan Suan said. No, this Hanayu sect is not simple, and the business can be sustained. The things are ready, let's leave. Su Chen said. Already ready. Let's go to Xianxin City. Su Chen got up and left. Another place Sima Changhan Manor. Brother, Su Chen secretly left Luoyang City, and his specific whereabouts are unknown. Do you want to investigate? Lin Zioshan said beside Sima Changhan. No need to investigate. If you investigate, I'm afraid he may not be able to come back alive. He just needs to leave Luoyang City. What's going on over there on Jiangxin Island? Sima Changhan asked afterwards. There was a rumor the night before yesterday that there was a tremor, but it disappeared in a moment. In the past 2 days, the sword tomb in Jiangxin Island has been emitting sword energy, and then it disappeared. I sent people to Jiangxin Island to investigate, but as soon as they entered Jiangxin Island, they were enveloped by a force and killed. For the time being, I have not sent anyone to Jiangxin Island to investigate. But it is certain that Gu Shentang is using the sword tomb to do something. Lin Zioshan said in a deep voice. Don't send people to investigate for the time being, just pay attention from the outside. Also, I sent out a message to gather information. Have the other 3 general envoys replied? When can they arrive in Luoyang City? Sima Changhan said. And General Envoy Lei has not returned any information. The other 2 general envoys should arrive in Luoyang City in 5 days. Lin Zioshan replied. This Lei Bu who has always liked to stay in seclusion. It seems we have to wait a while. You keep a close eye on the movements of the Lai family. This time, the Qinglang society will definitely not let go of the leaders of the 36 alien races. I'm afraid a war will break out. If Lai Zhenbai is defeated this time, I'm afraid the Lai family will disappear in Jiangnan. This matter must be recorded in detail. It is our opportunity to explore the strength of the Qinglang society. Maybe Su Chen will go to Xianxin City, who knows? Sima Changhan said. Chapter 827. The 7th Prince Liu's worry and Lai Zhenbai's plan. The 7th Prince's residence in the capital. The 7th Prince Liu's face was terribly gloomy. Are they really too arrogant? His voice was not loud, but it was very low, showing his extreme anger. The Lai family was his mother's family, and it was also one of his important helpers now. If the Lai family had problems, then his losses would be extremely heavy. Your Highness, the power displayed by the Qinglang society is too huge. But they have also provoked a big enemy. I have already contacted several big bosses in the Ministry of Personnel. They also have the idea of taking action against the Qinglang society, said a middle-aged man in a green shirt in front of him. This is one of the 7 prince's 3 major staff members, named Gongsun Mingjing. It's just that there is an idea, which means there is no specific time to take action. It's been so long since Xian Gong was killed, and he still hasn't taken action. What a bunch of trash. The 7th Prince Liu said coldly. Your Highness, be careful with your words. He said immediately when he saw Gongsun Mingjing. The big bosses in the Ministry of Personnel are not ordinary. They are still trying to win the support of the Ministry of Personnel. What did my uncle arrange? He convened a meeting of the 36 alien races. There should be some arrangements. Liu said in a deep voice. Lord Lai has made some arrangements. The head of the dead man's tomb has brought people to Cheyenne City. Not only the people from the dead man's tomb, but also the ancestor of the Red Sun Hall, the true Manchiji, has secretly come to the Lai family. Gongsun Mingjing beside him said. Are these the only ones? The second dragon head of the Blue Dragon Society, Li Zunhun, broke the heaven gate with a flying knife in his hand. His strength is extraordinary. In addition to Li Zunhun, there is also a person who appeared in Luoyang City, but did not show up, and blocked the attack of the heaven gate with a long sword in his hand. The strength of these two people may be extraordinary. You need to be careful. Liu said. Your Highness, don't worry. Lord Lai has also contacted the Dashan Temple of the Tantric sect. Cheyenne Mushangren, one of the three heads of the Dashan Temple, brought the Cheyenne Dukasuk, the most precious treasure of the Dashan Temple, to the Lai family. With the Lai family and the 36 alien masters, what can the Blue Dragon Society do? Gongsun Mingjing said. It is rumored that the Cheyenne Dukasuk is a mid-grade spiritual weapon. Master Cheyenne Mu actually brought this treasure with him. Even if Li Zunhun showed up and used that terrifying flying knife, he probably couldn't kill Master Cheyenne Mu. Very good. We must defeat the Qinglang Society this time. Speaking of this, I also want to thank the Qinglang Society. If they didn't have so many enemies, my uncle might not be able to unite so many forces. Liu said. Pay close attention to the situation in Jiangnan. Does King Liu have a reply? Liu asked, changing the subject. King Liu has agreed to marry another daughter to your highness. Gongsun Mingjing said. Any interests need a bond. Nikinga, the princess of Danliang who was previously granted marriage by Emperor Zhao, died. The connection between King Liu and him was temporarily cut off. In order to consolidate the connection with King Liu, the 7th Prince Liu was going to choose another daughter of King Liu as his concubine. Okay, in this case, this matter cannot be delayed. Let him choose a candidate as soon as possible, and I will issue a marriage certificate at that time. Liu said. Your Highness, I'm afraid we can't rush this matter. The fluctuations in the Tingsao area are very large now, and the Liu Palace is in a very passive situation. I think we can wait. Gongsun Mingjing said in a deep voice. Mr. Gongsun, do you mean that the fluctuations in Tingsao will have an impact on the Liu King? Liu frowned slightly and said, there is such a worry, but your highness, the Liu King, has agreed to this matter, and will not change it. We can slowly wait for the Liu King's reply. Gongsun Mingjing said. Is that so? You will arrange this matter. Although the major princes have not made any moves on the surface, many people are secretly accumulating strength and preparing to seize the opportunity to strike at others. If something happens to the Lai family this time, I'm afraid I will be the first target they deal with, the 7th prince said. Don't worry, your highness, I understand. Gongsun Mingjing. Another place. The ancestral land of the 36 alien races. In Cheyenne City, in a huge manor, Lai Zhenbei stood on a pavilion with his hands behind his back. Feng Hanli, you dared to contact the people of the Qinglang Society. You are really courting death. Are there any movements from other tribes? Lai Zhenbei asked in a deep voice. Other tribes, no contact with the Qinglang Society, has been found for the time being. A man in a black robe behind him bowed and said. Other tribes, I guess Ling Luoxi of the Qinglang Society doesn't look down on them. From the itinerary, Feng Hanli should be in Cheyenne City today. As soon as he arrives, bring him to see me. I really want to see if he has cooperated with the people of the Qinglang Society. I hope he can give me some useful information. Lai Zhenbei said coldly. Yes. The black-robed man bowed and left. After the black-robed man left, Lai Zhenbei glanced at the scene outside the pavilion, turned around and walked into the pavilion. There was also an old man in a blue robe in the room. The old man was sitting upright drinking tea. Grand Elder, is there any movement from the Qinglang Society in the black market at Jinling City? Lai Zhenbei looked at the blue-robed old man and said. There is news from the Jinling black market that there is no movement in the Qinglang Hu stronghold over there. We are directly summoning the leaders of the 36 alien tribes. They should guess that we have a backup plan. Perhaps they are afraid, so they may not take action. The blue-robed old man put down the teacup in his hand and said in a deep voice, "The King Long Hu is very powerful. This is the best opportunity. They should not take action. I hope they don't take action. In this way, I can gather all the remaining masters of the 36 alien tribes in my hands. The King Long Hu is helping me," Li Zenbei said in a deep voice. Although the Lai family leads the 36 alien tribes, the 36 alien tribes are scattered all over the place and their strength is not concentrated. This time, the King Long Hu took action, which made Li Zenbei see an opportunity. Sometimes, crisis and opportunity coexist. If the King Long Hu does not take action this time, then he can easily complete this matter. At that time, he really has to thank the King Long Hu. This is how powerful hero is. He will take advantage of various environments. At this moment, outside Xianxin City, Su Chen and Yuan Suan looked at the city wall built of black stone in front of them. The city wall was about dozens of feet high, very majestic, giving people a sense of indestructibility. There were many people coming and going at the city gate. They were dressed differently. My lord, this is the ancestral land of the 36 alien tribes. When the 36 alien tribes migrated to Jiangnan, they gathered here and were not open to the outside world. Later, the 36 alien tribes migrated away and only a few people stayed here and gradually opened to the outside world. The characteristics of the 36 alien tribes also attracted many local people in Jiangnan, so it became so prosperous. The one stationed in Xianxin City is Lai Chengshang, the elder of the Lai family. Yuan Suan said. Lai Chengshang, the fourth giant of the Tomb of the Dead. Su Chen had heard about Lai Chengshang, the elder of the Lai family, from Wei Dongjin before. My lord, I'm afraid that people from the Tomb of the Dead will appear here. Yuan Suan said. Then let's kill them all together. Su Chen's eyes flashed with cold light. Let's go into the city. Su Chen and Yuan Suan stepped into Xianxin City. Chapter 828, The Heavenly Demon Harp, April Hall Master, Wang Zumi. Not long after Su Chen and his party entered Xianxin City, a woman carrying a long harp appeared at the city gate. The woman was tall, wearing a black long skirt, with long flowing hair, and exuding a chill. There was a sense of strangers staying away. The pedestrians around kept away from the woman in black. The gate guards saw this, and their eyes condensed. Xianxin City is the territory of the 36 alien tribes, under the control of the Lai family. Now the 36 alien tribes have gathered together. It is to deal with the King Long society. The guards have also received a task to report any suspicious people quickly. The person who appeared was definitely not from the 36 tribes, so it might be from the King Long society. The leader of the guards winked at the person next to him. The person next to him turned around and left quickly. The woman in black skirt did not enter the city, but just stood at the city gate. It seemed that she was waiting for something. Time passed little by little. The atmosphere at the city gate seemed a little weird. The speed of some pedestrians became faster. Captain, what is she trying to do? A guard came to the previous leader and said, "This is not something we should care about. This person definitely did not come here with good intentions. We should be careful. If there is any problem, run for our lives," the captain of the guard said in a low voice. But the young man next to him hesitated. He wanted to go up and ask, "We have reported the matter here. If you want to die, don't take us with you." As if he knew what the young man next to him was thinking, the captain said coldly. While he was talking, two groups of people appeared on the road outside the city gate. There were two people in the lead. One of them was wearing a black blood robe. On the blood robe was embroidered a black giant python. He was Liu Guqing, who succeeded Liu Junction as the new leader of the Python clan. The other person was wearing a white robe. His hair was also white. His face was a little sick, but his eyes were sharp. He was the chief of the 36 alien tribes, Basili. Behind them were a dozen warriors carrying long swords. The group saw the woman in black standing at the gate, their eyes fixed, and they stopped. Liu Guqing of the Python clan, Basili of the Whitewood clan. The woman in black looked at the two and said. Hearing the words of the woman in black, Liu Guqing and Basilo's eyes fixed. The other party was coming for them. Who are you? Liu Gucheng looked at the woman in black and said, I'm Wang Zumei, the leader of the April Hall of the Qinglang Society. I'm here today to take your lives. Boom. The voice echoed. Along with the echoing voice, a surge of evil spirit with terrifying murderous intent spread out. The leader of the April Hall of the Qinglang Society. Hearing this, the two leading people changed their expressions. At this moment, the people far away from the city gate looked at Wang Zumei who appeared, and their expressions were horrified. The 36 alien races gathered together just to deal with the Qinglang Society. Unexpectedly, the Qinglang Society appeared directly at the gate of the city and intercepted the people who came to gather the 36 alien races. In terms of momentum, they did not take the 36 alien races seriously at all. Looking for death. Kill her. Seeing this, Liu Gucheng's eyes showed a ferocious look, and he shouted. Behind him, dozens of warriors instantly drew their swords and rushed towards Wang Zumei. Bang! Wang Zumei's eyes turned cold. The Cheyenne Makin behind her instantly flew out and landed in front of her. With a flick of her hand, those who rushed up were instantly hit by a burst of energy, and the whole person exploded, forming a piece of flesh and blood. In a blink of an eye, blood covered the ground. The people who attacked were like ants, all turned into flesh and blood. The scene was extremely terrifying. Seeing this, Liu Gucheng and Basilo's expressions changed drastically. Liu Gucheng's strength was in the sea, but it was not the top sea, and Basilo had just stepped into the sea. Rush into the city, otherwise we have no chance of survival. Liu Gucheng said. Divine power, giant shadow of the sky python. Divine fist of the sky python. Liu Gucheng shouted, and unfolded his divine power, and took action. This is Cheyenne Sin City. They have to rush in, and wait for others, to come to support them. Escape. They can't escape. Divine power, alone and desolate. Basilo's divine power is a bit strange. As soon as he appears, a sad atmosphere permeates. His palm slaps out like a sunset flower, dazzling people's eyes, and goes towards Wang Zumei. Wang Zumei's face remains unchanged, and she flicks her palm, and the sound of the piano fluctuates. A wave of air is formed, bombarding the two people. The divine power of the two people was instantly shattered. The two people's bodies were frustrated, and blood was about to come out of their throats. They were shocked. They didn't expect that the sound of the other party's attack could hurt them. At this moment, Wang Zumei's Cheyenne Makin was directly inserted into the ground. Fingers fluctuated. Two strings flew out instantly, turned into two silver lights, and flew out instantly. Sensing the strings, his face changed drastically, and his body changed rapidly. It's just that they are fast. The strings are faster. Swish, swish. Two rays of light penetrated. The two people paused, and fell from the air. The strings were pulled back. Wang Zumei looked calm. The 36 alien races, is that all? How can such a strength be worthy of being the enemy of my Qinglang Society? Looking at the two figures lying on the ground, Wang Zumei said with a cold expression. How dare you? How dare you? At this time, a low roar came from the city. With the roar, a figure fell on the ground. The man who came was a burly middle-aged man wearing a green robe and appeared at the gate of the city. That's Mu Fenghei, the fourth of the 36 alien races. Seeing the figure that appeared, someone in the distance outside the city spoke. The Qinglang Society is so arrogant that they dare to come here. At this time, a cold voice appeared behind the figure. It was an old man wearing a grey robe and exuding a dead air. Who is this person? Seeing this figure, some people did not recognize who the other person was. Wang Zumei looked at the two people who appeared with a calm look and did not have any psychological fluctuations because of the appearance of the two people. You are full of death. It seems that you are from Dead Man's Tomb. Wang Zumei said. I didn't expect you to know where I came from. I'm Fei Hangayu from the Tomb of the Dead. The grey-robed old man spoke in a loud voice. A terrifying wave formed and went towards Wang Zumei. It's just a dead person. Why so loud? As Wang Zumei spoke, her aura burst out, and the sound waves that were rushing over were directly dispersed under this aura. And a terrifying killing intent appeared on her body, and the killing intent condensed in the air, changing the color of the sky and the earth. People watching the battle from a distance sensed this killing intent, trembling all over, with horror in their eyes. What a terrifying killing intent. How many people are you going to kill? Some people said with trembling hearts. Wang Zumei, the person who slaughtered the entire martial arts world in the six-fingered kin demon, killed many strong people, and the killing intent condensed was of course stronger. Facing Wang Zumei, Mu Fenghei and Fei Hangaiyu from the Tomb of the Dead, the two couldn't help but look at each other. They were shocked. They knew they had encountered a strong enemy. Divine power, immortal stars. Divine power, forbidden land of death. The two did not dare to be careless and burst out their divine power at the same time. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 829, Killing Intent shocks the heavens. One man and one can kill through the city gate. The divine power burst out, and Mu Fenghei shouted, and his body shot out violently, and his palm slapped out. A terrifying energy appeared in his palm. The energy formed a feeling of nebula, carrying a terrifying destructive force, and attacked Wang Zumei like a tidal wave. Mu Fenghei's unique skill, the starry sky destroying palm. In addition, Fei Hangaiyu from the graveyard raised his palm, which was like a white bone. His palm stretched out into a claw and attacked Wang Zumei. For a time, the palm covered the surrounding space, making it seem like there was no place to hide. Although the palm was like a white bone, it was like a mountain, pressing people so hard that they couldn't breathe, and it was filled with a breath that corroded the human body. Two divine powers suppressed. In addition, the two people attacked with all their strength. For a time, the momentum shook the sky. The momentum that Wang Zumei had guided out before was suppressed. Don't overestimate your own ability. Under the suppression of this momentum, Wang Zumei snorted coldly. When the palms of the two were about to fall, divine power, killing demon, boom. An even more terrifying divine power erupted from her. The divine power was filled with terrifying killing intent. The killing intent condensed into the shadow. The shadow appeared illusory, and the world was suddenly bloody, as if it was carrying endless killing. She raised her palm. The demon zither was held in her palm. 8 sounds of the heavenly dragon. She shouted in a low voice. Her palm waved. With a flick, the two people who were attacking felt a terrifying airflow sweeping over, which blocked their bodies. Bang! There was an explosion sound where the two people's palms attacked. What? Seeing this, the two people's expressions changed. They immediately attacked again. Two strong energy forces went towards Wang Zumei again. Bang! Bang! Wang Zumei plucked the strings of the zither twice. The terrifying sound wave power flew out instantly, blocking the two people's palm power. Then Wang Zumei's palm was seen plucking continuously. Waves of sound waves kept rushing out. The two people resisted, but after only resisting a few sound waves, the sound waves rushed into their bodies. The two paused, controlling their own strength to resist the power of the sound waves in their bodies. From today on, it will be the nightmare of the 36 alien races. After saying that, Wang Zumei turned around and left with the Cheyenne Mukin. Seeing Wang Zumei leave, the two changed their expressions and wanted to catch up, but the energy in their bodies prevented them from chasing. Not long after Wang Zumei left, several figures appeared at the city gate. The leader was Lai Zhenbei. Seeing the two people standing at the city gate, he wanted to get closer. Bang! Bang! Just as he moved his feet, Mu Fenghei and Fei Hangaiyu, who had taken action, exploded directly and turned into a ball of flesh and blood. Seeing this situation, Lai Zhenbei's eyes changed color and became ferocious. Looking at the direction where Wang Zumei disappeared, his eyes were full of endless murderous intent. At this time, several figures appeared at the city gate, led by Feng Hanli from the Fengli tribe. Feng Hanli saw the situation at the city gate. His expression was startled. What happened here, Chief Lai? Feng Hanli came to Lai Zhenbei and asked. Don't you know? Looking at the Feng Hanli who appeared, Lai Zhenbei's eyes flashed with a hint of coldness, and he said, I know. Hearing Lai Zhenbei's words, Feng Hanli was stunned. He didn't understand what Lai Zhenbei meant. Swish! A figure appeared in front of Lai Zhenbei. Sir, the people from the other 3 city gates who came in, all the tribes have all been in trouble and no one is alive. There are still 10 tribes who haven't entered the city yet. The person who came in said. What? Hearing the words of the person who came in, Feng Hanle's expression changed and he couldn't help asking, all of them? All died at the hands of the Qinglang Society people. The one who just took action here is Wang Zumi, the head of the April Hall of the Qinglang Society. As for the other city gates, I'm afraid they are also at the level of the head of the hall. Chief Feng, you are so lucky. Lai Chengshang, who followed in a blue robe, looked at Feng Hanli and said. Feng Hanli was shocked. He didn't expect that the Qinglang Society would take action at this time. They didn't wait for the 36 alien races to gather. They killed a group of people first. Great Elder, it's not my luck. I guess it's because a few people came, so the Qinglang Society left. Feng Hanli said hurriedly. Really? Then let's go into the city. I just have something to ask you. Lai Zhenbei looked at Feng Hanli and said. In this situation, he would not take action against Feng Hanli, so as not to cause fluctuations in the remaining alien races. Seeing this, Feng Hanli could only leave with them. At this time, in Xianshan City, Su Chen and Yuan Suan were in a restaurant. The two disguised themselves, dressed in ordinary clothes, and were having a meal in the lobby of the restaurant. At this time, a figure holding a long knife walked in and sat at one of the tables. People around saw him. He couldn't help but say, Wan Dadao, why did you come at this time? Do you know? Just now at the East City entrance, Wang Zumi, the leader of the April Hall of the Qinglang Society, appeared and killed Liu Guqing, the new leader of the Python clan, as well as Basilui of the Beimu clan and others, and Mu Fenghe, the 4th master of the 36 alien tribes, and the masters of the Dead Man's Tomb, took action, but they were all killed. One man and one zither. It was effortless. This Qinglang Society is too strong. The man took a sip of wine and said, you mean someone from the Qinglang Society took action? Yes. The person who took action is too strong. One man and one zither. The murderous intent is shocking. What a peerless female devil. Wan Dadao said. Not only in East City, but also on the roads of the other 3 city gates, all the people from the 36 alien races who appeared were killed. The Qinglang Club acted too decisively. I think these 36 alien races are going to be in trouble. Unlucky. I'm afraid it's not just bad luck. The Qinglang Club said they would exterminate the clan. But just now, Lai Zhenbei appeared at the city gate, and there were masters beside him. I'm afraid the Lai family also invited masters. Fighting. It seems that this battle will be very exciting. Hearing this, some people got excited. Jianghu warriors originally liked to watch such battles. Otherwise, they would not have gathered here. You can make a move first, Lai Zhenbei. I really want to see how you defend yourself. Su Chen said while drinking. Of course, he did not participate in this matter, which was directed and arranged by Ling Luoshi. He only needs to intercept the fortunes of the 36 alien races and the Lai family in the end. With the fortunes of the 36 clans and the Lai family, he should be able to condense a little bit of the virtual image of the dragon. The largest manor in the city. Feng Hanli followed Lai Zhenbei into the hall. Chief Feng, have you contacted Ling Luoshi? As soon as he entered the hall, Lai Zhenbei looked at Feng Hanli and said, yes, Ling Luoshi came to see me and hoped that I would provide them with information about the 36 alien tribes. If they don't agree, they will destroy my Feng Lai tribe when I leave. Feng Hanli said. Lai Zhenbei knew that Ling Luoshi contacted him. Then he didn't need to hide it. There was no point in hiding it. Well, then you agree. I have to agree, but I'm willing to cooperate with Brother Lai to surround and kill the people of the Qinglang Society. I think Brother Lai must have made corresponding preparations to summon the leaders of the 36 alien tribes. Feng Hanli said. Yes, I have made preparations. As long as they dare to come, I will make them die without a complete corpse. You find a way to contact them and try to make them take action during the meeting, not now. Lai Zhenbei looked at Feng Hanli and said. He was afraid that the remaining alien tribes would also be in trouble. Chapter 830 Useless people can only die. I can't contact them. I can only wait for them to contact me. When I came, Ling Luoshi went to the beggars sect to meet Kao Feng and wanted to join forces with the beggars sect. Feng Hanli said. The beggars sect? Just a group of beggars. If they dare to come, we can just get rid of them all at once. I believe they will contact you when you arrive in Xianxin City. Great Elder, take Chief Feng and the others to the prepared wing room. Lai Zhenbei said. Please, Chief Feng. The blue-robed Chief Elder Lai Chengshang looked at Feng Hanli and said. There was a hint of impatience in his tone. Feng Hanli's expression did not change, and he left the hall. The manor is a typical Jiangnan-style building. After a while, Lai Chengshang took Feng Hanli into a large courtyard. In the courtyard, some not-so-precious flowers and plants were planted, well taken care of, and growing very vigorously. Chief Feng, your men will be arranged in the courtyard next door. After saying that, Lai Chengshang turned and left. Looking at Lai Chengshang who was leaving, a trace of haze flashed in Feng Hanli's eyes. Master, they are going too far. The old housekeeper who came with him looked at Lai Chengshang who was leaving with a look of resentment on his face. Go and investigate what just happened. Feng Hanli ordered. Master, should we send spies to find out what experts Lai Zhenbei has invited to help? The housekeeper said. The Fengli clan ranks second among the 36 clans and has its own spies in Xianxin City. No need to investigate, you won't find out. Feng Hanli shook his head. Go and investigate what happened at the city gate first. Feng Hanli waved his hand. Yes. The old housekeeper bowed and left the courtyard. Manor. In the hall, the blue-robed old man Lai Chengshang stepped into the hall. Master, Feng Hanli has sent his butler out. I believe that the people from the Qinglang Society will contact him. Should we send someone to keep an eye on him? No, Feng Hanli didn't think about cooperating with the Qinglang Society at first. Feng Hanli is very smart and knows what he should do. I'm not too worried about him. I'm worried about the Qinglang Society. What they did is damage the reputation of my 36 alien races, and it also made people panic. Notify the clan leaders who are already in the manor not to leave the manor for the time being, so as to avoid any accidents. Lai Zhenbei said in a deep voice. Today, the Qinglang Society attacked and killed the 36 alien races, the 4th-ranked Mu Fenghe, and the Dead Man's Tomb, Fei Hangaiu, all died at the hands of Wang Zumi, the master of April Hall. Wang Zumi's strength is somewhat extraordinary. Wang Zumi attacked and killed directly at the city gate, showing her strength in public. The other 3 places attacked and killed secretly. The 2 coordinations put pressure on him. Lai Zhenbei. Qinglang Club, I really want to see how strong you are, Lai Zhenbei muttered. In the evening, in Feng Hanli's courtyard. Master, I have already found out everything that happened outside the city gate. The most ferocious one should be Wang Zumi, the head of April Hall of Qinglang Club. She killed 4 concentrated masters with her own zither. She is very domineering. The murderous intent on her body is overwhelming. From the information we have obtained, although the other party appears for the first time, he should be a person who has killed countless people. The old housekeeper recounted what happened at the city gate in detail. The trouble caused by the Lai family of Qinglang Club has been borne by my 36 alien races. I hope that this time Lai Zhenbei can kill the people of Qinglang Club with the force of thunder, so that the trouble of my 36 alien races can be alleviated. The people of Qinglang Club have contacted you. Feng Hanli looked at the old housekeeper and said, Master, this is a letter sent by someone not long after leaving the manor. The old housekeeper took out a letter from his sleeve and handed it to Feng Hanli. Feng Hanli sent the old housekeeper out of the manor so that the people from the Qinglang Society could contact the housekeeper. Feng Hanli opened the letter. Late at night, outside the East City, in a manor 5 miles away, waiting for the Feng clan leader. The signature was Ling Luoshi, the head of the Zhenggaiu Hall. Outside the city? Seeing this, Feng Hanli frowned slightly and handed the content of the letter to the old housekeeper. Master, this is absolutely not allowed outside the city. Seeing the information in the letter, the housekeeper's face changed. I'm afraid Ling Luoshi is worried about Ling Luoshi in the city. I'm afraid I can only go to see Ling Luoshi. I'm still useful, and they shouldn't attack me. What's more, even if they attack, I, Feng Hanli, am not so easy to kill. Feng Hanli said in a deep voice. But what if they do it? The old housekeeper said in a deep voice. After I leave, half a minute later, you go to see Lai Zhenbei and ask him to support me. Feng Hanli said, after thinking for a moment. Is this the only way? The old housekeeper said in a deep voice. Late at night, Feng Hanli left the manor and quickly headed out of the city. Outside the city, a manor. Ling Luoshi was standing at the entrance of the courtyard lobby with his hands behind his back, looking at the bright moonlight. In my next life, I want to appreciate this moonlight endlessly. In the last life, warriors also experienced birth, old age, sickness, and death, but they were just stronger than ordinary people. In this world, before reaching the heavenly gate, as long as you reach the heavenly man realm, you will have a lifespan of 200 years. If you reach the heavenly gate, I'm afraid your lifespan will be longer, and immortality may also be possible. Of course, all this is based on power. He wants to help the master and establish supreme power. Only with power can you have resources and become stronger. Ling Luoshi's eyes flashed with cold light. This is his belief in this life. In the lobby, Yuan Shizangsen was sitting upright, emitting a strong aura. He practiced the heaven-hate method given by Su Chen, integrating all the hatred of his previous life into it, and he was able to cultivate it very quickly. With the support of the elixir, his strength improved by leaps and bounds. There were two people sitting next to him. Both were very young. The third Hall Master Chu Jiangnan and the fifth Hall Master Fang Yingken. Chu Jiangnan closed his eyes and circulated the energy in his body, concentrating his mind and gathering his divine power. His strength was much worse than that of others. The master asked him to become the 12th Hall Master, and he had to reach that level. Otherwise, with his strength, he might only be a helmsman in the Kinglan Club now, just like Wen Zuan. So he was eager to improve his strength. Recently, combined with the divine power of this world, he already knew the direction of his divine power gathering. I believe that it won't be long before he can step into the sea and concentrate. As for Fang Yingken, he had an aristocratic aura on his body, his eyes were sharp, and he was also closing his eyes to rest. Suddenly, his expression moved. In the courtyard, a figure fell. It was Feng Hanli. Feng Hanli sensed 4 auras when he entered the hall. Patriarch Feng, you are here, please come in. Ling Luoshi, who was standing at the door, waved his hand and invited Feng Hanli to enter the hall. Feng Hanli's eyes moved slightly, but he still followed him into the hall. Seeing the 3 people sitting on the side, his eyes slightly focused. Among the 3 people, only one was not Heizan Ningxian. These are the 3 Hall Masters of my Kinglan Club. They came to help me this time. The 2nd Hall Master Yuan Shizangsen, the 3rd Hall Master Chu Jiangnan, and the 5th Hall Master Fang Yingken. Please sit down. When Ling Luoshi introduced them, he asked Feng Hanli to sit opposite Yuan Shizangsen, and he sat next to Yuan Shizangsen. Feng Hanli sat down and said with a puzzled look, before I came, I heard that the 4th Hall Master of your club was killing people everywhere, and I wanted to see him. I didn't expect that he was not here. The 4th Hall Master Wang Zumui was killing people at the gate of East City. He was very knowledgeable. When it's time to show up, he will show up. Ling Luoshi said. Patriarch Feng should have met with Lai Zhenbei. I wonder what kind of expert Lai Zhenbei invited? Ling Luoshi looked at Feng Hanli and said, I haven't found out yet. I will find out before the meeting, but I hope that Master Ling will promise me not to attack the remaining 36 alien tribe leaders for the time being. After eradicating the Lai family, I still want to subdue these alien tribes. Feng Hanli said. Is that so? That's a pity. I'm afraid I can't promise you this. You haven't found out Lai Zhenbei's strength. I want to use the remaining alien tribes to test Lai Zhenbei's strength. Ling Luoshi shook his head. Master Ling, what do you mean by this? Don't you believe me? Feng Hanli's face turned cold when he heard this. To be honest, I really don't believe you. And I invited you here today to use you to test Lai Zhenbei's strength. Ling Luoshi said. What do you mean? Hearing Ling Luoshi's words, Feng Hanli's expression changed. Kill you. See if Lai Zhenbei will take action. Ling Luoshi said in a very calm tone. Previously, he needed to draw on other forces to deal with the 36 alien races. That's why he wanted to use Feng Hanli and get rid of Feng Hanli after getting rid of the Lai family. But now, the forces on his side no longer need to rely on Feng Hanli, so Feng Hanli is useless. Useless people can only die. Chapter 831, The Young Marquis of the Divine Spear and Blood Sword, Feng Hanli's Unwilling Death. Hearing Ling Luoshi's words, Feng Hanli's eyes condensed. Ling Luoshi, you want to kill me? Lai Zhenbai dared to summon the leaders of the 36 alien races, so he must have arranged a lot of strong men. Without me, you would not know at all. Don't underestimate Lai Zhenbai, Feng Hanli said in a deep voice. No matter what he prepared, he must die. Your value is to help me test Lai Zhenbai's background. Ling Luoshi said calmly. You want to kill me? Can you do it? While Feng Hanli was talking, his figure turned into a residual shadow and went out of the courtyard. When he moved, Fang Yingken, who was sitting at the end, also moved. Here you come. How can you leave? Fang Yingken, who had chased out, had a burst of ki on his arm, and the ki turned into sharp arrows. Sad little arrows. The arrows were transformed into ki and shot out instantly. Not one, but three. The speed was so fast that it attacked Feng Hanli's head, throat, and heart. Feng Hanli sensed three forces coming at him. He turned around. He slapped his palms 3 times quickly. The 3 palm forces touched the sad little arrow that shot out. Bang, bang, bang. The 3 forces collided and erupted with terrifying power. He made a move, but his body was blocked. Feng Hanli landed in the courtyard. Swish. When he fell, a firework flew out of his hand and rushed into the sky. Before coming, Feng Hanli had already made arrangements. It seems that you have made arrangements, but it doesn't matter. This day next year will be your death anniversary, but I'm afraid no one will pay tribute to you. Your son was killed when you left Feng Mansion, and your Feng Mansion was also destroyed, with no one alive. Fang Yingken looked at Feng Hanli and said coldly, "What? You destroyed Feng Mansion and killed my son. You have no intention of cooperating at all." Hearing Fang Yingken's words, Feng Hanli's eyes became ferocious. He believed what Fang Yingken said. Looking towards the hall, Ling Luoshi was already standing at the door. Ling Luoshi, said I would destroy the 36 alien tribes. How could I break my promise? Go and accompany your son tonight. Ling Luoshi said with his hands behind his back. I'm going to kill you. Feng Hanli's eyes became ferocious, and a terrifying force burst out from his body. Without saying anything, he rushed towards Ling Luoshi. Your opponent is me. It is rumored that you are the second best among the 36 alien tribes. I really want to see how strong you are as the second best. Fang Yingken stood in front of the other party. Little beast, if you want to die, I will kill you first, then Ling Luoshi. Feng Hanli shouted, his eyes turned red. Divine power, wind, thunder, and clouds move. Heavenly wind and thunder fist. The aura on his body burst out, forming a force of wind and thunder. Invisible wind and thunder sounded. Wind and thunder rolled in his palms, heading towards Fang Yingken. There was no reservation at all. He wanted to kill Fang Yingken first, and then kill Ling Luoshi. The terrifying power of wind and thunder erupted in his palm, forming a terrifying palm force like a sea tide. Old man, do you have the ability to kill me? Divine power, mountains, seas and the world. A divine power erupted from Fang Yingken's body, and the divine power became a mountain. As soon as it appeared, a heavy force surged out. Along with this heavy force, there was also a tidal force. Although Fang Yingken was young, he was very strong. Otherwise he would have been one of the 6 great masters of the world at such a young age. With the appearance of divine power, the mountain scripture in his body began to run rapidly. Ki gathered in his arms. The sad little arrow condensed out. Yuan Shisangshan used the mountain scripture to perform the mountain scripture with the short arrow he made himself. That was because at that time, although Yuan Shisangshan's own strength had broken through to the sea concentration, he had just broken through, so he forged the arrow to maximize the power. And the divine power he condensed was a sad little arrow. With weapons, it can burst out with stronger power. Fang Yingken used the mountain scripture as his divine power, burst out his greatest ki, and condensed into a sad little arrow. The sad little arrow burst out. It collided with the palm that attacked. Wind and thunder rolled in the palm, and the ki in the arrow exploded. The two forces collided, and for a while, the ki in the courtyard rippled out like a tide. The two figures retreated at the same time. 8 wind and thunder forces. After being knocked back by a blow, Feng Hanle's figure shot out again, and his palm slapped out at the same time. A pair of palms rolled with the power of wind and thunder. This time the speed was not very fast, but it revealed a terrifying power that made people palpitate. Sensing the power in the palm, Fang Yingken's eyes condensed. The mountain scripture on his body was running rapidly, and the terrifying ki was like a raging tide, condensing on his arms. 2 sad little arrows emerged, showing a silver color. Once they appeared, the surrounding air trembled, and there was a sense of collapse. The sad little arrows are a skill in itself, and they have strong lethality. Kill. Kill. The 2 men shouted at the same time, and their palms fell, and the little arrow of sadness shot out. Bang. Bang. 2 forces exploded. A storm was set off. Fang Yingken's body was shaken back. Kill you. Seeing this, Feng Hanli rushed towards Fang Yingken. He couldn't give Fang Yingken a chance by suppressing Fang Yingken. What's more, Ling Luoshi and others were still there. The powerful wind and thunder force continued to burst out from his palms. For a while, Fang Yingken was suppressed. Step by step, Fang Yingken felt like he was forced into a desperate situation. Aren't you going to kill me? Why do you have only this little strength? Feng Hanle's eyes flashed red as he pressed forward step by step, and his hands were extremely powerful. His palm passed through Fang Yingken's ki gang. It went towards Fang Yingken's chest. Fang Yingken moved his feet anxiously and barely avoided this palm. Feng Hanle's face was ferocious, and his palm became a claw and grabbed towards Fang Yingken. But at this moment, Fang Yingken's face showed a ferocious look. His palm moved at his waist. A blood-colored sword light shot out instantly. It tore through Feng Hanle's ki and instantly pierced into the opponent's throat. The sword light was extremely fast. Feng Hanli did not dodge this sword. Swish. The sword light was withdrawn. Fang Yingken's figure retreated violently, and the soft sword in his hand dripped with blood. The sound of dripping echoed in the silent courtyard. Fang Yingken has a resounding title in the world of martial arts. Talking and laughing with swords and sleeves, and laughing with blood, turning hands for clouds and rain, the young Marquis of the magic gun and blood sword. A person's name may be wrong, but the title must be right. It talks about the magic gun and the blood sword. It talks about his 2 unique skills, the blood river magic sword and the warrior magic gun. Feng Hanle's strength is at the top of the sea. Fang Yingken has not reached it yet. He couldn't kill the opponent in a head-on confrontation, so he made a plan. At first, he was very arrogant and directly resisted, using the power of the mountains and seas to offset the opponent's power and pressure, making it impossible for the opponent to kill him in a short time. When the opponent was pressing step by step and thought he was about to succeed, he used the blood river sword. He pierced the opponent's throat. When warriors fight, there is no complete crushing strength. Tactics and means are also a kind of Covering his neck, Feng Hanle's eyes were full of reluctance. He was killed by Fang Yingken just like that. And while I Zenbei and the others didn't show up, you are also a tool for them to test us. It's a pity that you are destined to die. Ling Luoshi looked at the unwilling Feng Hanli and said, send a signal. But no one showed up. There is only this explanation. Me. Plop. Feng Hanle's body fell to the ground. Chapter 832. I'm here to lend you my head. Not far from the villa, Grand Elder, the head of the family, has sent a signal. We should take action. Beside Lai Chengshang, Feng Hanle's housekeeper said anxiously, I have sent people to investigate. Just wait for the news. Lai Chengshang, who was wearing a blue robe, said calmly. At this time, a black figure quickly came in front of Lai Chengshang and bowed. Elder, there are 4 hall masters of the Qinglang Society in the manor. The first month hall master is Ling Luoshi, the second month hall master is Yuan Shizangsen, the third month hall master is Chu Jiangnan, and the fifth month hall master is Fang Yingken. Ling Luoshi has no intention of cooperating with the Feng clan leader. Before coming, he had already wiped out the Feng clan leader's family. The Feng clan leader wanted to kill Ling Luoshi, the fifth hall master of the Qinglang Society. Fang Yingken took action and fought with the Feng clan leader. The Feng clan leader had the upper hand, but was killed in a counterattack due to carelessness. The man in black briefly recounted what happened in the manor. What, you mean the master? The housekeeper beside Lai Chengshang heard the news with disbelief and excitement. Grand Elder, please help us avenge our master. Bang. Just as he finished speaking, Lai Chengshang suddenly made a move and instantly slapped the old housekeeper on the head. The old housekeeper was not prepared at all. His head was directly blown apart by this palm. Feng Hanli is dead. You will die with your master. It is not advisable to stay here for long. Let's go. Feng Hanli was just a chess piece of fizz, a chess piece to test the Qinglang society. If he dies, he dies. How could he be asked to take action? And it is not safe here, so we must leave as soon as possible. But they stopped after walking a few steps. Under the moonlight, a woman in white was sitting cross-legged with her eyes closed not far away, and there was a gukin in front of her. The moment they stopped, the closed eyes suddenly opened, and a cold light shot out instantly. The surrounding atmosphere also instantly became solemn and murderous. Is it you? Qinglang Society, April Hall Master Wang Zumei. Seeing the woman in white, the pupils of the great elder Lai Chengshang suddenly shrank, and there was fear in his eyes. Today, Wang Zumei killed people at the gate of Xianzhen City, and her portrait had already been spread. What's more, there was a gukin in front of the other party. It has already revealed his identity. It seems that you are waiting for us here. Lai Chengshang looked at Wang Zumei and said coldly. While speaking, his eyes were fixed on the gukin in front of Wang Zumei. The gukin is a murderous gukin. I came here specially to borrow Elder Lai's head. Please don't be stingy, Elder Lai. Wang Zumei's voice was cold, but the murderous intent was permeated invisibly. The surrounding atmosphere was automatic without wind. Humph. You want to take my head? Let me see how you take it. Lai Chengshang snorted coldly. Suddenly, he grabbed the man in black beside him with his palm. Then he threw the man in black directly towards Wang Zumei. Bang. Wang Zumei looked calm, and she plucked the heavenly demon harp in her hand, causing the black-clothed man who rushed over to burst directly and turned into a ball of blood mist. When the blood mist erupted, Lai Chengshang's body moved. He did not flee, but when the blood mist appeared, his body turned into a black light and shot towards Wang Zumei. His palm stretched out into a claw and attacked the heavenly demon harp in Wang Zumei's hand. Kill me, I will kill you first. The speed of the attack was so fast that the power of the heavenly demon harp could not be exerted unless she plucked the strings. But he was fast. Wang Zumei's hands moved even faster. In an instant, her palm landed on the heavenly demon harp. The sound of the harp appeared, forming a silver wave, heading towards Lai Chengshang. Lai Chengshang looked startled. His body retreated rapidly. Divine power, heavenly Zhu and Zen Liu. True flow fist power. A divine power erupted from the retreating Lai Chengshang. The divine power was like a whirlpool, forming a tidal pressure heading towards Wang Zumei. At this time, he clenched his clawed palm into a fist and punched out. The fist blasted out, and the key burst out. Under the influence of the divine power, the key turned into a huge vortex and burst out. Bang! The two forces collided, and the key rushed out. Lai Chengshang's figure was shocked and retreated several steps. He stomped his feet on the ground to stabilize his figure, and looked at Wang Zumei in front of him with gloomy eyes. He blasted out a fist and slowly fell. A trace of blood flowed out of the fist. One blow. Just now, his violent ki vortex failed to block the opponent's sound waves. This woman, I'm no match for her. Let's attack together. Lai Chengshang said in a low voice. This time, he didn't come here alone. While he was talking, two black figures walked out of the darkness quickly. The two people appeared, moved their bodies, and formed a triangular siege with Lai Chengshang. One of them held two golden gongs in his hands. The other person held a grey copper stick in his hand, his palm tightly clenched, and a fierce aura emanated from his body. The two people's eyes were locked on Wang Zumei like poisonous snakes. I dare to come. Don't I have any preparation? Lai Chengshang stared at Wang Zumei with a sinister look, and a ferocious smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. I heard that your piano is very powerful. I don't know which is more powerful, your piano or my gongs and cymbals. While speaking, the person holding the golden gongs and cymbals opened both hands at the same time, and then closed them. Ding. A crisp and roaring sound burst out from the golden gongs and cymbals. The sound waves instantly formed a golden light, and attacked Wang Zumei. Kill. At this moment, the person holding the grey stick did not say much, and his feet moved. Along with the sound of the sound waves, the long stick in his hand attacked Wang Zumui as fast as lightning. Divine power, angry ape. When the divine power was released, a blurry figure of a grey giant ape appeared behind him. One stick to split the sky. As the angry ape appeared, the aura of the man holding the stick became violent, and he roared and howled. The bloody aura on his body permeated, and the whole person turned into a violent ape, and he struck down with a stick. On the other side, Lai Chengshang's eyes turned grey. A terrifying death aura appeared on his body, and his divine power also burst out instantly. The original true energy turned into a death aura that enveloped his fist. A punch was thrown out. The terrifying death aura formed a vortex and enveloped Wang Zumui. HMPH. Wang Zumui's cold eyes became deep, and she snorted coldly. The Cheyenne Makin in her hand was directly plucked. Boom. 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 A sound wave attacked the man holding the golden gong. The sound wave carried endless killing. It penetrated the golden sound wave and formed a crescent blade, attacking and killing. Clang clang clang. Seeing this, the man holding the golden gong cymbals kept colliding with the gong cymbals in his hand, emitting sound wave power, trying to resist. Swish. The crescent blade penetrated everything and rushed into his body. The other two waves of air attacked the man with the stick and Lai Chengshang. The air waves collided with the fist and the long stick. A terrifying energy storm erupted. At the moment the energy storm appeared, Wang Zumui picked up the Cheyenne Makin and plucked the strings again, but there was no sound. Instead, a string flew out and turned into a silver light that penetrated the storm. It penetrated the aura of the man with the stick. With a hiss, it pierced the man's throat. The man with the stick wanted to attack again, but the pain in his throat made him look at it. A silver string. Bang. The air on the string burst, the throat burst directly, and the head flew out. The body did not fall to the ground for a while. Seeing this scene, Lai Chengshang's face changed drastically. He did not expect that the other party would easily resolve the attack of 3 people and even kill 1 person. His face became solemn and looked at the man holding the gong and cymbals. But when he looked at it, the gong and cymbals in the man's hand cracked and then turned into copper sheets. Brother Lin. Bang. Before Lai Chengshang finished speaking, the man holding the gong exploded and turned into flesh and blood. The Cheyenne Makin in Wang Zumui's hand is a top-grade spiritual weapon. The power it exploded is extremely powerful. Unbearable. Wang Zumui snorted coldly. She looked at Lai Chengshang. Send you on your way. The strings in her hand plucked. Boom. A terrifying sound wave force went towards Lai Chengshang. Kill. True flow rotating gang. Seeing this, Lai Chengshang activated the true energy in his body without reservation. Then he punched out, and the terrifying true energy formed a series of key gang screens and attacked the sound waves. The two forces collided. Suddenly, the violent true energy was hit and swept around. Some of the surrounding trees were instantly turned into powder under this energy and disappeared with the wind. Under this power, Lai Chengshang's face was pale, and he was shocked and flew backwards. A muffled groan came from his throat and a mouthful of blood spurted out. How at this time? Suddenly, a silver string attacked him. Seeing this, Lai Chengshang quickly twisted his body to avoid the silver string. When he avoided the silver string turned back in an instant and entangled his throat in an instant. Swish. A blood mark appeared on his neck. It was not him who avoided it just now, but the other party deliberately let him avoid it, so that it entangled the other party's throat. He touched his throat with his palm. Blood flowed out from the blood mark, and then his head fell to the ground. His eyes were lifeless. Wang Zumui grabbed the head of Lai Chengshang with her palm. Chapter 833. The head is delivered, and the provocation comes. Cheyenne Sun City Manor. Lai Zhenbei sat in the first place, and next to him was an old man in a grey robe with a pale face. The old man seemed to be squinting, but his eyes were open. But his eyeballs did not move. There was no aura fluctuation on his body, as if he was a living dead. Damn. At this time, a figure walked in from outside. The person who came in had a solemn expression, holding a rectangular box in his hand. Master, the people from the Qinglang Society sent a box and asked you to open it yourself. The person said. A brocade box was sent, and I want you to open it myself. Lysenbo's expression condensed, and he stood up. Have the elders come back? Lysenbo said. No news about the elders for the time being? The person hurriedly said. While speaking, Lysenbo had already come in front of the person. His palm fell on the brocade box. I want to see what the Qinglang Society sent. Lysenbo opened the brocade box. But when the brocade box was opened, the man holding the brocade box had a drastic change of expression, and his hands were shaking. Lysenbo's face was extremely gloomy. This is too much. Lysenbo's voice was as low as thunder, with endless anger. Because there were two heads in the brocade box. One was Feng Hanli, and the other was Lai Chengshang. After killing someone, he sent the head here. This was a naked slap in the face. The man holding the brocade box had cold sweat on his forehead. He didn't dare to put the brocade box down, nor did he dare to take it away. His body trembled. Master Lai, it's useless to be angry. Let me take a look. The grey-robed old man, who had not moved his eyes before, stood up and came to the brocade box. He grabbed it with his palm. Two heads flew out, and the two palms began to examine it. Feng Hanli's head was cut off after his death, and Elder Lai died after his head was cut off by a special weapon. I don't know if these two heads can be given to me, the grey-robed old man said. The demeanor can take Feng Hanli's head, but the head of the Great Elder needs to be buried. And the sharp weapon that cut off the Great Elder's head should be the strings of Azitha, and the one who did it should be Wang Zumi, the head of the April Hall. Send someone to investigate outside the city immediately. I want to know what happened, Lysenbo said in a low voice. Yes. The person who came quickly left the hall. Damn it, damn, Qinglang Society, I must kill you. The murderous aura on Lysenbo's body continued to surge. Killing people at the city gate, and now killing people and sending heads. This is a complete provocation to him, Lysenbo. The Lai family has never been provoked and insulted like this. Come here. Lysenbo shouted in a low voice. A figure walked in from outside the hall. He was dressed in a black robe, and exuded a terrifying aura. Mobilize people immediately, and bring back the remaining clan leaders who have not arrived, as soon as possible. I want to convene a meeting of the 36 alien races, as soon as possible. Lysenbo was filled with murderous intent. He is now going to tear apart the people of the Qinglang Society, tear apart Ling Luoshi, and the next morning, when Su Chen walked out, Yuan Suan was already waiting. The two of them came to the lobby of the inn from the second floor, and prepared to have some breakfast. At this moment, many people were already eating breakfast in the lobby. Do you know? Someone died outside the city again last night, a warrior said. Isn't it normal for people to die? Hearing the warrior's words, the people next to him couldn't help but say, in the fights in the rivers and lakes, it is normal for people to die. It is normal for people to die, but last night the people of the Qinglang Society had another fight with the 36 tribes. The people who died in this battle were Feng Hanli, the second ranked one of the 36 tribes, and Lai Chengshang, the eldest elder of the Lai family. The strong man said softly. What? Hearing this news, many people were shocked. They didn't expect that it was just one night. The eldest elder of the Lai family and Feng Hanli, the second ranked one of the 36 tribes, died just like that. Do you know how they died? Some people immediately became interested and asked. We don't know how he died, but it might be done by Wang Zumi from the Qinglang Society, who was holding the guqin. The man sat down, drank a bowl of wine and said, this is not shocking enough. Do you know? The people from the Qinglang Society killed Feng Hanli and Elder Lai and sent their heads to Lysenbo. The Qinglang Society is so domineering. Why do they feel like they are making dumplings for others when the 36 alien races gather together? Someone said in a deep voice. I'm afraid it's not that simple. Lysenbo dared to summon the 36 alien races, so he must have some means. Just as they were talking, a figure covered in blood, riding a horse, was galloping towards the direction of the ancestral manor of the 36 alien races. Who was that man just now? That man seemed to be the guard commander beside Lysenbo. Why is he covered in blood? I heard that Lysenbo mobilized people last night to pick up the remaining 36 alien members, but from the looks of it, the 36 alien chiefs who haven't arrived yet are probably in danger. Some people whispered. No matter what, this is still the city of the 36 aliens. With the pressure step by step, Li Zhenbei must be extremely angry at this moment. I just don't know what kind of masters he invited. Su Chen thought to himself. Let's go. After we finish eating, we will head to the ancestral manor of the 36 aliens. From the situation of that person's return just now, I'm afraid Ling Luoshi and others have killed the 36 alien chiefs who haven't arrived in Xianxin City yet. Then the next step should be to face Li Zhenbei directly. Li Zhenbei, I really want to see what your trump card is. Li Zhenbei was able to lead the 36 alien tribes for so many years. His strategies and martial arts are absolutely amazing. There were more than 20 people sitting in the hall of the manor. Most of them were the 36 tribe leaders who had arrived earlier. At this moment, these people's faces were extremely angry, and they were filled with murderous intent. Li Zhenbei was sitting in the first seat, and his expression seemed very calm. Report at this time, the leader covered in blood, that Su Chen and the others had seen earlier rushed into the hall. Master, we were attacked by the beggar gang on our way back, and the remaining tribe leaders were all killed. Li Zhenbei, Ling Luoshi of the Qinglang Society, and leader Kaio of the beggar gang are here to visit. Please come out of the house to see me. Just as the commander's voice fell, suddenly, a sound like thunder sounded outside the manor, rumbling into the hall. Inside the hall, everyone was stunned, and then everyone's face became cold. The Qinglang Society actually came to their 36 alien tribes' ancestral land in front of them. The Qinglang Society is presumptuous. The Qinglang Society is looking for death. Let's go out and tear them into pieces. The clan leaders of various tribes, who were originally depressed in their hearts, had even more murderous aura on their bodies. The 36 alien tribes were originally murderous. They had been completely aroused by the Qinglang Society. The murderous intent surged in the hall. Li Zhenbei immediately stood up and strode out of the hall. Others also stood up, walked out of the hall, and went out of the manor. Around 7 o'clock in the evening, 2 more. Chapter 834. Battle begins. Blade Storm instantly kills 3 people. Outside the manor, Ling Luoshi, dressed in brocade, and Gao Feng, dressed in a grey robe. The two looked at the manor in front of them with cold eyes. Is that Ling Luoshi from the Green Dragon Society and Gao Feng from the Beggars Sect? At the same time, many warriors gathered outside the manor. Some of them couldn't help but speak up. Many people thought that the Green Dragon Society would take action, but they didn't expect it to appear so directly. What are they going to do? Some people asked the people next to them. Are they going to face the 36 alien races head on? I didn't expect the Green Dragon Society to kill people yesterday and come to the door today. This time there will be a good show to watch. I didn't expect the Green Dragon Society to join forces with the Beggars Sect and come to the door like this. I'm afraid a big war will break out. The voices of discussion continued. It also caused a commotion in Xianxin City, and many warriors quickly gathered. Many people appeared on the houses not far away and on the restaurants on the streets. Su Chen and Yuan Suan came early, and they were standing near the manor. My lord, this Li Zhenbei and the people of the 36 alien tribes may have been driven crazy. Yuan Suan said softly. I wonder what the background of this Li Zhenbei is. I hope he can give me some surprises. Su Chen looked at the manor of the ancestral land of the 36 alien tribes and said in a deep voice. In the eyes of Su Chen and others, inside the manor, fierce auras burst out. As figures rushed out of the manor like locusts, Li Zhenbei was the leader. His eyes were full of ferocity and sinisterness. Ling Luoshi, Kaio Feng, you dare to appear in my ancestral land of the 36 alien tribes. Li Zhenbei looked at Ling Luoshi and Kaio Feng and said, why not? After today, there will be no 36 alien tribes. Master Li, I still thank you. If it weren't for you, to be honest, it would still take some time to destroy the 36 alien tribes. Ling Luoshi stepped forward, emitting a terrifying murderous intent. His tone was calm, but the murderous intent was soaring. Hearing Ling Luoshi's words, Li Zhenbei's originally ferocious and sinister expression suddenly became calm. Your idea is very good, but today this is the place where you will be buried. Since you are here, then show up, and let me see what kind of masters you, Qinglang Society, and Beggars Sect have brought. Li Zhenbei said with a cold look in his eyes. Bang. At this time, a sound of azure spread. Bang, bang, bang. 3 terrifying sound waves and key forces attacked Li Zhenbei. Zumaru Shanjinganki. Li Zhenbei shouted. In an instant, he punched out 3 times. The fist force and the sound wave key force collided, and a terrifying explosion sounded. In the explosion, Wang Zumei, dressed in white, and with a graceful figure, appeared in one place holding the Cheyenne Makin, looking at Li Zhenbei with cold eyes. There was a hint of surprise in her heart. The opponent's fist force blocked a sound wave attack. Although she was not strong enough to fully exert the power of the heavenly demon harp in her hand, Li Zhenbei was able to simply block her sonic attack with her fist strength. Her strength should not be underestimated. Wang Zumei from the Qinglang Society? Li Zhenbei looked at Wang Zumei with gloomy eyes. This person killed many of their 36 alien races. Wang Zumei did not say anything, just stood there. Seeing that Wang Zumei did not say anything, Li Zhenbei looked at Ling Luoshi. Did the Qinglang Society only send 2 people? That really disappoints me. The Qinglang Society is not just sending 2 people. Brother Yuan, you guys should show up too. As Ling Luoshi finished speaking, Yuan Shizangsen, Chu Jiangnan and Fang Yingkan walked out of the crowd. Old beggar, show up too. After Yuan Shizangsen and the others showed up, 2 old men in beggar clothes also walked out. Han Kigan and Bilink Su, to see concentrated masters from the beggar gang. Is this a master from the beggar gang? They were not very surprised about Yuan Shizangsen. The appearance of 2 masters from the beggar gang surprised some people. There were rumors of other strong men in the beggar sect, but these 2 men obviously had not shown up. I didn't expect there was another warrior at the Danshan Hua Hei level. Li Zhenbei's eyes fell on Chu Jiangnan. There was surprise in his tone. He originally thought that they were all in the sea of concentration. Just as Li Zhenbei's voice fell, in the manner, a scream suddenly came out. You guys. Hearing the scream, Li Zhenbei's face was gloomy. Go see what's going on, he said to the people behind him. The 3 figures were about to turn around, but at this time, Chu Jiangnan's figure turned into a residual shadow and appeared in front of the 3 people, looking for death. Seeing Chu Jiangnan stop them, the 3 people burst out with a strong wave of true ki, and their figures moved and killed Chu Jiangnan. Li Zhenbei had just found out Chu Jiangnan's strength. Danshan Hua Hei level. The 3 of them were also at the Danshan Hua Hei level. Killing Chu Jiangnan was not a big deal at all. Thunder Shadow Palm. Split the air fist. Phantom Strike. One of the 3 people stretched out a grey spear in his hand. The long spear was extremely fast, turning into spear shadows, and went towards Chu Jiangnan's vital points as fast as lightning. The other 2 followed with their palms bursting with true energy. Chu Jiangnan's eyes were calm. Holding the long sword, he shot out instantly. The sword light was cold and sharp. Clang. It collided with the long spear in the spear shadow. Sparks and explosions were heard instantly. Die. Just at this time, the other 2 people had already attacked together. Their faces were ferocious, and their palms covered Chu Jiangnan. Chu Jiangnan concentrated his mind, pulled back the long sword in his hand instantly, and slashed out 2 more swords. The sword light was violent, turning into sharp sword energy, and colliding with the opponent's palm energy. There was a sound of air explosion. At the moment when the sound of air explosion appeared, Chu Jiangnan bowed, stepped forward, and the sword energy around him surged. The surrounding airflow made an unbearable huge explosion under the sword energy. Chu Jiangnan's sword art was inherited from Liu Shengyijian, and his sword energy was domineering. Blade Storm. The sword energy burst out from his long sword, and instantly swept towards the 3 people. The speed was so fast. The 3 people who made the move seemed to be in a sword energy storm in the next moment. There was sword energy all around. Their minds were affected. The spear, palm power, and fist power burst out, and rushed towards the sword energy storm. The sword energy storm was dispersed, but the man with the spear sensed a breath of death in an instant, and his hair stood up all over his body. Not good. He just spoke. A sword light pierced his chest. He didn't even scream. His body fell and exploded, turning into a ball of blood mist. The other 2 sensed this situation. With horror in their eyes, they attacked Chu Jiangnan. Chu Jiangnan moved, and the sword light burst out again. Under the extremely fierce sword energy, a cold chill instantly invaded the two people. The two people felt that their movements were a little slow. It was only in this slow moment Chu Jiangnan's figure turned into a residual image and penetrated the two people. Swish, swish, in an instant. Two heads rolled out at the same time. Blood rain sprayed from the broken necks. The heads that rolled out still maintained a look of shock and disbelief. In a short time, three people of the same realm as Chu Jiangnan, the 36th alien race, fell to the ground. Seeing this scene, some people were horrified. The strength of the King Donghu Hall Master is indeed not simple. Li Zhenbo's eyes became obscure. Chapter 835. The battlefield intensifies, and characters continue to appear. I'm here to kill you. At this time, a figure rushed out. Divine power, sword light. As soon as this person made a move, a huge divine power burst out. Along with the divine power, a dazzling sword light swept out. The sword light whistled like a storm. Chu Jiangnan's eyes condensed. A sense of danger rose in his heart, and his whole body was suppressed. Divine power, he had not yet condensed, but he had gained something. The sword energy on his body flowed, resisting this pressure. At the moment of resisting this pressure, his figure moved quickly. He barely avoided the sword. Boom. The sword light fell on the ground. Dust flew up. The sword fell to the ground, and the long sword in his hand turned into a streak again and went towards Chu Jiangnan. Chu Jiangnan slashed with the long sword in his hand. The sword energy collided with the sword energy. The sword energy exploded, and the sword energy continued to sweep out. Chu Jiangnan continued to draw his sword and barely blocked the sword energy. His figure was also shocked by the sword energy and walked backwards. The sword art, the sword momentum of the strong man in the sea, and the sword energy are all very domineering. What's more, Chu Jiangnan has not yet stepped into the sea to concentrate. For a time, Chu Jiangnan was at a disadvantage. Seeing this situation, Fang Yingkan moved. When he moved, suddenly, a figure rushed out and blocked Fang Yingkan. The man was full of death, staring at Fang Yingkan with ferocious eyes, raised his palm, and a cold air burst out from his palm, grabbing towards Fang Yingkan, looking for death. Seeing someone stopping him, Fang Yingkan's face turned cold. He raised his arm, and the sad little arrow condensed instantly and shot out. Seeing the sad little arrow, the man's eyes were startled, but his palm did not retract. When colliding with the sad little arrow, a layer of dark color appeared on his palm, making his palm like dark glass. Ding. The sad little arrow condensed by the true energy collided with the palm. There was a sound of metal collision. Fang Yingkan's eyes condensed, his aura condensed, his divine power burst out. He moved his footsteps, and his figure shot out violently towards the person who came. His palm slapped out with a strong and powerful force like a mountain. He attacked the other party. Shattered Heart of Darkness. Seeing Fang Yingkan coming to kill, the person who attacked him shouted, and a strong and cold force burst out from his palm, and it went towards Fang Yingkan's chest at a tricky angle. Bang! Fang Yingkan turned his palm and collided with the other party's palm. The two forces collided head-on. The figure was shocked and retreated several steps. If you want to stop me, then I will kill you first. Fang Yingkan's eyes became fierce, and his divine power burst out completely. Along with the burst of divine power, the mountain character scripture and the divine art of forbearance in his body burst out at the same time. The two forces were fully activated, and a terrible force surged from his body. With this power, he raised his arm and a sad little arrow appeared. Kill me, I will kill you today. Let you know the power of my dead man's tomb. Whoever kills you will be killed by the dead man's tomb. The man who made the move had a sinister look on his face, and his ki surged, and a death-like aura spread out. His palm was like black glass. The sad little arrow that Fang Yingkan had just shot could not break his palm, so he didn't care. Kill. At this moment, Fang Yingkan's sad little arrow shot out. The opponent's palm also shot out. But this time, when the palm collided with the sad little arrow, the sad little arrow directly penetrated the opponent's palm. Ah! The strong man from the dead man's tomb who made the move screamed, "Do you think that, if you block my first attack, you can block my second attack?" Fang Yingkan snorted coldly. While snorting coldly, his figure shot out in front of the opponent, stretched out his palm, and hit the opponent's throat. "You dare!" At this moment, a low and cold voice spread out. As soon as this voice appeared, the surrounding world became cold. The air seemed to freeze in an instant. Seeing this, Ling Luoshi's eyes condensed. He stepped forward, and his divine power burst out. 4 doors of the screen appeared instantly, blocking the suppression of this breath. Boom. Yuan Shisanksen stepped forward. The sad little arrow on his arm condensed and shot out. The arrow light flowed and went to a place. A shriveled palm appeared there, and it slapped out and collided with the sad little arrow. On the other side, a Buddhist sound came out, and the Buddhist sound was wanton and came out towards Fang Yingken. Wang Zuma's eyes condensed, and the Cheyenne kin in her hand came out. A sound of the kin appeared and collided with the Buddhist sound. Boom. The two forces collided. A man in a purple cassock walked out. At this moment, Fang Yingken's palm fell on the throat of the man who made the move. If you don't have that strength, stay put and don't make a move. Fang Yingken's face was fierce, and he twisted the other person's throat with a click, and threw the other person's body aside. At this moment, the atmosphere became solemn. An old man in a grey robe and full of death appeared. On the other side, the monk in a cassock confronted Wang Zumi. The tomb of the dead. One life determines life and death. Mingjia Chang, the great Shan temple of the Tantric sect, the master of Xianmu. Seeing the two people appear, some martial artists recognized their identities and exclaimed in their hearts. Mingjia Chang glanced at Yuan Shisanksen and then looked at Fang Yingken. The one who killed my tomb of the dead. I will twist off your head in a while, Mingjia Chang said in a low voice. While speaking, his palm raised, and the body of the old man in the tomb of the dead who was killed by Fang Yingken was grabbed by Mingjia Chang. Swish. The head of the dead old man was directly grabbed by Mingjia Chang. A breath of death appeared in his hand. In a blink of an eye, the head with flesh and blood turned into a skeleton. Everyone's eyes condensed when they saw this. They didn't expect it to be like this. Tang Mu, show up, Mingjia Chang said, while playing with the skeleton in his hand. Tang Mu. Hearing this name, the warriors watching the battle were stunned. Even on the house, Su Chen's eyes narrowed slightly. Compared with others, Su Chen was not very clear about this Tang Mu. I didn't expect that Tang Mu, the previous master of the Red Sun Hall, would come. When Su Chen was puzzled, someone spoke up. Red Sun Hall. Su Chen's eyes narrowed slightly. The Red Sun Hall joined forces with the Nangang family and the Jiangbeichuo family to attack Su Chen. However, the Jiangbeichuo family and the Red Sun Hall were dealt with by Dingpeng and Yan Nanshan, who came out of the mountains. Before they took action, they joined forces with Lai Zhenbei to attack the Qinglang Society. Looking around, a figure walked out. The figure was wearing a scholared robe and had a burly figure. His hair was also red. He exuded an extremely hot energy fluctuation. This is the performance of practicing the Red Sun Hall's unique Red Sun 9 extremes to the extreme. This person is not simple, Su Chen said as he looked at the figure that appeared. Seeing this figure, Kaio Feng showed a fighting spirit on his face. The other person's aura was violent and strong, very similar to his aura. He stepped out, and a dragon roar surged out of his body, sweeping towards the other person. Kaio Feng, this is our feud with the Qinglang Society. You are also involved in it. Aren't you afraid that your beggar's sect will be wiped out from now on? Seeing the aura on Kaio Feng's body, Tang Mu appeared and said with cold eyes, let my beggar's sect be wiped out from now on. No one in this world can do it. It is rumored that Tang Mu, the previous master of the Red Sun Hall, relied on a pair of Red Sun 9 extreme palms to shock the south of the Yangtze River and led the Red Sun Hall to become one of the two halls. Today, I, Kaio Feng, really want to see how strong you are, Kaio Feng said. The aura on his body was surging. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 836, Chu Jiangnan's divine power condensed. Everything in the universe. The ninefold life pressure. Ling Luoshi, the 13th limit of Yuan, is the new head of the Dead Man's Tomb of the 9th level. I wonder if the new head of the Dead Man's Tomb has come. Su Chen looked at the grey-robed old man and said, "Do you know that the dead man's tomb has a new head?" Just as Su Chen finished speaking, a cold voice sounded in Su Chen's ears. Su Chen's expression condensed slightly, and his eyes looked in the direction where the voice came from. A woman in a blue and white long skirt stood not far away. The blue and white long skirt set off her graceful figure, but she was wearing a veil on her face, so her complete face could not be seen clearly. However, from the exposed face, the woman's face was very beautiful, but her eyes were a little cold. "I just heard that the dead man's tomb has a new head. How come the girl is also interested in the dead man's tomb?" Su Chen said. "Yes." The veiled woman moved her feet and came to Su Chen and his friends in a blink of an eye. Yuan Suan's eyes condensed. He showed a defensive posture. "I have no ill intentions, don't be vigilant." Sensing Yuan Suan's vigilance, the veiled woman said, "I wonder what you think of this fight." The veiled woman then spoke. "This fight is a little hard to guess. After all, judging from the current situation, it's hard to say who will win or lose." Su Chen said softly, "I'm very optimistic about the Kinglan Club. They have never really lost since they appeared." The veiled woman said, "It's hard to say." Su Chen looked in the direction of Chu Jiangnan. Chu Jiangnan's opponent was a sea-concentrated strongman. The divine power suppressed him. Although he used his sword energy to resist this pressure, he was still suppressed overall. It's just that this suppression gradually became limited. "Who do you think will die among them?" At this time, the cold woman also looked in the direction of Chu Jiangnan and spoke. "That sea-concentrated strongman will die. Chu Jiangnan's swordsmanship is very powerful, and the opponent's divine power cannot suppress him. Once Chu Jiangnan finds an opportunity, the sea-concentrated strongman will probably be killed with one sword." "I wonder what the girl thinks." Su Chen looked at the cold woman. "This time your opinion is the same as mine," the cold woman said with her beautiful eyes motionless. While they were talking, the swordsman who was fighting with Chu Jiangnan suddenly retracted his attack. He held the long sword horizontally in his hand, and his eyes emitted a cold light. "If you continue to fight like this, you may be able to condense divine power, but I won't give you such an opportunity. Take my sword." After so many moves, he still couldn't take down Chu Jiangnan. Moreover, Chu Jiangnan's aura became more and more condensed, and there was a vague feeling of condensing divine power. He would not let Chu Jiangnan condense divine power. Once Chu Jiangnan's divine power condensed out, at that time, he would probably die under Chu Jiangnan's sword, so he wanted to kill Chu Jiangnan with one sword. Boom. The sword intent on his body burst out, and the long sword in his hand was raised. The sword energy condensed and turned into a fierce tiger. Chu Jiangnan, who was opposite him, had a fixed look in his eyes. The opponent's sword was not simple. The sword was as powerful as a tiger. With one slash, the sword energy was like a tiger coming out of the mountain, and the murderous aura shook the sky. When Chu Jiangnan was in a heavy mood, the opponent drew his sword. Tiger killing heaven slash. The opponent stepped on the ground, his body suddenly rose, and slashed with the sword. The sword came out, and the sword energy was extremely dense, sucking all the surrounding air into this sword energy. Chu Jiangnan's eyes were solemn, and a sense of oppression appeared around him. Along with the oppression, the surrounding space seemed to be squeezed, making him feel suffocated. When this suffocating feeling appeared, the situation of his previous life suddenly appeared in front of him. He had planned all his life to kill Qin Beichen, but died at the hands of Bei Yun. It can be said that it was all in vain. Although he was reborn, the oppression in his previous life has not been completely eliminated. At this moment, under this huge sword intention, he recalled his life again, and his state of mind suddenly began to change. In this life, he wanted to be his true self. There was no need to hide himself. The Chu people are in Jiangnan, and the sword draws all over the rivers and lakes. Perfect interpretation of himself. Boom, at this moment, his divine power that had been condensing suddenly took shape. Chu Jiangnan's divine power has nothing to do with the sword. Although he practiced the sword art of Liu Shengyijian, but he was not obsessed with sword art. He was a person who was conducive to greater power. After coming to this world, he practiced the Senluo Wangxiang of his father Duan Muqi. Senluo Wangxiang became extremely strange, and his moves were as heavy as thunder, with the power of yin and yang, which could be said to be extremely domineering. so he directed his divine power in this direction. With a sudden enlightenment, the divine power condensed Senluo Wangxiang. Boom. With the divine power, or thunder surged out. When the divine power condensed, Chu Jiangnan slashed with a sword. The sword light collided with the knife light. The sword light was shattered. The long sword in Chu Jiangnan's hand was also shaken out by the powerful force. Even if you comprehend the divine power, what can you do? You will still die under my sword. The sword shattered Chu Jiangnan's sword energy with one blow. The swordsman showed a ferocious smile on his face. He raised the long sword in his hand and slashed it again. The sword energy fell down in all directions at a very fast speed. However, Chu Jiangnan's body was faster, and the higher his practice of Senluo Wangxiang, the faster his speed was. He dodged the sword in an instant. Boom. The sword energy fell to the ground. Dust flew on the ground. At the moment, when the dust flew, a figure appeared in front of the sword master. Boom. A punch was thrown out with his hand. The punch was like a heavy thunder, hitting the opponent's chest directly. Bang. The whole body of the swordsman was blown away by this punch. When the body flew backwards, it exploded directly and turned into a ball of flesh and blood. The scene was a bit surprising. Although the people who appeared earlier were confronting each other, they had not yet fought, and they were willing to watch their fight. This situation was surprising. Chu Jiangnan successfully condensed the divine power with the help of this battle. Kill. Chu Jiangnan raised his hand and grabbed the long sword that had been shaken away. He attacked the people behind Li Zhenbei. Kill. The atmosphere became violent. Han Qigang and Bilingsu also shot out instantly. Li Zhenbei's eyes condensed. The remaining dozen people behind him also rushed out, and the two sides fought. At this time, Fang Yingkan kept appearing sad arrows in his hand, and the arrows attacked everyone like meteors. Boom. Ah. Screams were heard in the explosion. Retreat. Some people quickly went into the manor. Fang Yingkan, Chu Jiangnan, Han Qigang, and Bilingsu rushed into the manor. The strong men of the beggar gang have all come this time. Cooperating with Wen Zuan and other disciples of Yuan Shizengsen, they entered the manor in advance. For a while, the scene became chaotic. Li Zhenbei's face was gloomy, but he stood at the door of the manor without moving. His eyes were looking at Ling Luoshi viciously. Ming Leo, you stop Ling Luoshi and Yuan Shizengsen, I will go kill the others. Li Zhenbei looked at Ming Jiazhang and said, okay. Hearing Li Zhenbei's words, Ming Jiazhang's expression was ferocious, and the evil spirit was permeating his body. A huge aura of divine power appeared on his body. Divine power, 9 turned skulls. Ming Jiazhang shouted in a low voice, and a blood shadow appeared behind him, and 9 skull shadows appeared in the phantom. Boom. This divine power instantly enveloped Ling Luoshi and Yuan Shizengsen. He was going to suppress Yuan Shizengsen and Ling Luoshi with his own strength. Chapter 837, Fierce Battle, Life Family Ancestor, The Power of Heaven and Man. Divine Power, 4 doors of the screen. Divine Power, Sad Little Arrow. When the divine power of the 9th level of life enveloped the two people, the divine power of the two people burst out to resist the pressure of the divine power that enveloped them. Ling Luoshi's divine power is not yet perfect. Yuan Shizengsen had just stepped into the sea and concentrated his mind for a while. The two of them were still a little short of facing the 9th level of life alone. The 9th level of life fought Yuan Shizengsen and Ling Luoshi alone. Li Zhenbei's face became ferocious. His aura surged. He turned around and was about to go into the manor. He wanted to kill all the people from the Qinglang Society who entered the manor. Of course, this was also a gesture. He wanted to see if there were any other people from the Qinglang Society who showed up. Boom. At this moment, Wang Zumu's divine power burst out, and the shadow of the heavenly demon harp appeared in the air. The heavenly demon harp in her hand was instantly raised. Heavenly Dragon 8 sounds. She plucked the strings of the harp and directly performed the Heavenly Dragon 8 sounds, attacking Li Zhenbei, the person who made the move. A wave of sound went towards Li Zhenbei. Divine power, Zumi Heaven is shocked. Boom. A terrifying breath appeared. Along with this breath, Li Zhenbei's true energy surged several times, forming a terrifying true energy vortex. It collided with the attacking sound wave. Boom. The terrifying power exploded. Li Zhenbei was shocked and took a step back. His eyes became gloomy. The opponent's sound wave actually shook him back a step. Donor, your opponent is me. At this time, the figure of Cheyenne Mushangren of Tantric Buddhism appeared in front of Wang Zumi. Tantric Buddhism, Diamond Sutra. As soon as he appeared, Cheyenne Mushangren shouted in a low voice, and a scripture burst out of his mouth. The power of the scripture turned into sound wave power and went towards Wang Zumi. And when this sound wave burst out, a terrifying golden shadow appeared behind him. The shadow showed a vague image of Buddha. Dang. Wang Zumi plucked the strings of the zither with both hands, and the sound wave burst out, colliding with the sound of the Zen Sutra. The two forces collided, forming invisible ripples that spread around. Some people who were close to him immediately covered their heads. They screamed in pain. Chen, who was standing on the roof, also felt a strong sound wave attacking his head. Boom. Yuan Suan burst out a burst of true energy. He blocked Chen. After the wave of energy, many people fell to the ground with their heads in their hands and rolled around. Chen looked at the cold woman not far away. The cold woman's face did not change. The sound wave just now did not have any effect on her. From this situation, it seems that the Qinglang society is not as good as Li Zhenbei and is at a disadvantage. Chen said. This is just the beginning. The cold woman said. Her eyes were fixed on the battlefield. Haha, it seems that no one else has come with you. Then I will bury you all here today. Li Zhenbei's face was extremely ferocious, and he laughed wildly. If there were other masters, they should have shown up, instead of Wang Zumi stopping him. TSK. Just in the next moment, a sword light suddenly appeared. The sword light was pitch black. When the sword was slashed out, the space seemed to be condensed. This sword was extremely fast and domineering. It was very similar to Chu Jiangnan's sword art, but it was stronger than Chu Jiangnan's sword art. The one who made the move was Liu Shengyijian. Just in case, Liu Shengyijian and Zhu Yiren also followed Chen to Xianxin City. Liu Shengyijian's sword condensed his own divine power and sword intent together. Domineering and fast. Sumeru shocking palm. Li Zhenbei also reacted quickly. He came back to his senses in an instant, roared, and slapped out a palm, slapping towards the dark sword light. One sword decides life and death. Liu Shengyijian shouted in a low voice. Black light flew in the air. Bang! The palm force collided with the sword energy. Li Zhenbei was shocked back several steps, and Liu Shengyijian was also shocked back. Kill. Liu Shengyijian failed to strike with a sword, and his body rushed away violently. The long sword in his hand turned into a black sword shadow, covering Li Zhenbei. Ya Jiu Yijian. Seeing the sword coming out of the sword, Li Zhenbei's face flashed a cold color. Sumeru Xiangang, Blood Evil Xianju. The Zumi true energy in Li Zhenbei's body circulated rapidly. Under the circulation, the blood and ki in his body burst out. Boom. Blood and ki were like air, filling the world, and the sky turned bloody. The blood-colored air combined with the Zumi Ganki. He clenched his palm. Triple Blood Evil Fist. 1 punch, 2 punches, 3 punches. In the blink of an eye, 3 punches were superimposed, and the terrifying Blood Evil and Ganki condensed in his fist. Boom. The black sword light that was chopped was shattered under this fist. Liu Shengyijian's figure was shocked and retreated several steps. A trace of blood flowed from the wrist holding the long sword. Ya Jiu Yijian, you are not my opponent. Li Zhenbei snorted coldly. His figure moved and turned into a residual image. Kill you first. Qinglang Hu sword master, I will bury my bones here first. A punch was thrown out. The energy was like a mountain, and the blood was like the sea, suppressing the sword energy around Liu Shengyijian. Liu Shengyijian slashed with a sword. He did not regret his sword, without a trace of retreat. Boom. The long sword collided with the fist. Liu Shengyijian was shocked back again, and his feet stepped hard on the ground before he stopped. But at this moment, the sword energy on his body was somewhat dissipated. His breath was unstable, and blood continued to flow out of his hand holding the long sword. But Liu Shengyijian's eyes became extremely bright. Why didn't Li Wuxi make a move? Seeing this, Chen's heart trembled slightly. Judging from the strength shown, Liu Shengyijian's strength is not as good as Li Zhenbei. If the battle continues, Liu Shengyijian has no chance of winning. or there is a possibility of death. So he was wondering why Li Wuxi didn't make a move. His eyes couldn't help but look at the cold woman beside him. The cold woman's gaze remained the same. It seemed that she sensed Su Chen's gaze. That Liu Sheng Yijian is no match for Li Zhenbei. If no other masters of the Qinglan Club appeared, they might really lose this time. After all, the strongest of the Li family hasn't made a move yet, the cold woman said. Isn't the strongest of the Li family Li Zhenbei? Su Chen asked in confusion. Li Zhenbei is very strong, but the Li family also has an ancestor named Li Xiangsheng. It is rumored that Li Xiangsheng has the power of a strong man above Xianmen. The cold woman said. What? The power of a strong man above Xianmen? Su Chen showed surprise on his face. In his heart, he understood why Li Wuxi did not show up. He was probably waiting for Li Xiangsheng, the ancestor of the Li family, to make a move. His eyes could not help but look at Liu Sheng Yijian. In the field, Cao Feng sensed that Liu Sheng Yijian was suppressed. His body moved. But in front of him, Tang Mu spoke. Boss Cao, don't you want to see my strength? Then let me see which is stronger, my Red Sun 9 Extreme Palm or your Dragon Subduing 18 Palms. Tang Mu was talking. The divine power on his body burst out. As the divine power came out, a hot breath filled out. Along with this heat, a terrifying flame of true energy filled out from Tang Mu's body, especially his palms, which turned red at this moment. With a move of his footsteps, his body shot out. Red Sun, Yan Yang. Cao Feng's eyes turned cold. The aura on his body surged, and the terrifying golden true energy burst out of his body. The dragon shadow on his body rolled. Dragon subduing, heaven suppressing. 2 dragon shadows of true energy filled Cao Feng's palms. Boom. The 2 men slapped their palms. 3 in the afternoon, or around 7 o'clock. Try to finish writing this plot. Chapter 838, Violent Palm Collision, UN 13 Limits, Ling Luoshi Cooperation. The palms of the 2 men collided, and violent ki flowed. The figures were shocked back. At the moment of shock and retreat, both of them burst out with surging and violent ki. The aura on their bodies instantly climbed to the peak state. At the same time, they roared. The power in their palms burst out, and they attacked again. While the flames burned, the ki dragon roared. A series of terrifying ki waves broke out where the 2 men fought, and the ki waves reverberated wildly, tearing the surrounding ki. One after another, the ki that seemed to be substantial rushed into the sky, and stirred up the wind and clouds. Good. Tang Mu and Cao Feng retreated violently, and both of them showed excitement on their faces. Divine Power, Red Yang Extreme Sunday. At this moment, Tang Mu burst out the true power of his own divine power. A round of red sun spread out. The ki on his body surged, and the blazing true ki swept the surrounding air and burned it into a vacuum. For many years, I haven't used my full strength. I really want to know where your beggar's sect came from. Tang Mu looked at Cao Feng and said. The beggar's sect appeared very suddenly. Almost appeared in a short time. This is a bit puzzling. The rivers and lakes are changing. The forces are also changing. Why can't our beggar's sect appear? Cao Feng said. While speaking, the divine power on his body burst out. 18 dragon shadows filled the air. What a domineering divine power. With your divine power, you will definitely become one of the overlords in this world. Tang Mu looked at the divine power that burst out from Cao Feng and said. The divine power is domineering and powerful. Sometimes there is a sense of identity between the strong. Red Sun 9 Extreme Palm. When the voice fell, Tang Mu shouted in a low voice and slapped out a palm with both hands. The flames in the palms were like the red sun. The energy around the body was surging like a scorching sun. 18 dragon subduing palms. Boom. At this moment, Cao Feng also made a move. The energy in his palms was like a torrent. With a palm slap, the terrifying energy turned into 18 dragon shadows and hit the palm that was bombarding. Bang. On one side, the 18 dragon subduing palms, 18 palm forces. On the other side, the red sun was like a scorching sun, and the palm force was equally violent. The 2 forces collided. This time it was more terrifying than before. The palms of the 2 men collided. Boom. The 2 men landed on the ground, and the ground cracked under the huge force. A strong wind appeared around them. The 2 men stepped on the ground and dug deep into the ground. They competed with each other in terrifying strength. Sand and rocks flew around, and the key was dancing wildly. For a moment, it was impossible to tell who was winning or losing. What a strong and domineering key. This Cao Feng can actually fight Tang Mu hard and not lose at all. Seeing this, the people watching the battle were all shocked. Tang Mu became famous a long time ago. The power of the Red Sun palm is unparalleled. He has chopped down many strong men with his palm. Only then did the Red Sun Hall become one of the second halls. Although Cao Feng was powerful before, he had just become famous after all, and some people did not think highly of him before. But now it is different. The Beggars sect will be stronger after this battle. This is what everyone thought. Boom, just when the people watching the battle thought so in their hearts, two streams of energy suddenly surged. They were Ling Luoshi and Yuan Shizangsen from the Qinglang Society. Dead Man's Tomb, Mingjia Chang, I wonder if you have 9 lives. The 4 doors of the screen on Ling Luoshi's body completely exploded. The battle aroused his ferocity. He slapped his palm, and the terrifying murderer saw a condensed in his palm, turning into a terrifying tension, and went towards Mingjia Chang. You dare to be violent in front of me with your incomplete divine power. Mingjia Chang laughed wildly, and the death energy on his body surged. His figure turned into a ray of light, and went towards Ling Luoshi. Sad little arrow. At this moment, the sad little arrow in Yuan Shizangsen's hand burst out, and a silver light flashed out. Attack Mingjia Chang. Mingjia Chang's eyes condensed, and his palm turned, and slapped the sad little arrow. Boom, the sad little arrow exploded. The figure of Mingjia Chang who made the move suddenly stagnated. At this moment of stagnating figure, Ling Luoshi appeared with lightning speed, his long hair flying, and an extremely fierce aura bursting out of him. Boom. His palm slapped out. The palm force crushed the air and fell fiercely. Good palm technique. Mingjia Zhang shouted in a low voice, but he was not panicked at all. He raised his palm and slapped it out. It collided with Ling Luoshi's palm, and the cold energy in his body surged. The divine power surged, and a dead aura filled the cold air. Kill. At this moment, Yuan Shizangsen shouted in a low voice, and the Shanzi Sutra and the divine art of forbearance in his body were all activated, and the sad little arrow appeared again. It shot out violently. A storm rose. Huge waves rolled. Boom. Seeing this, the skull that Mingjia Zhang had been playing with flew out in an instant. It collided with the sad little arrow and the skull exploded. At the moment of the explosion, Yuan Shizangsen stepped in front of Mingjia Zhang. The great method of hating the heaven at this moment, he used the great method of hating the heaven that he had just cultivated. Hate the heaven and the earth. Endless hatred surged in Yuan Shizangsen's body. At the moment of surge, the Shanzi Sutra in Yuan Shizangsen's body continued to operate. At this moment, the whole body made a crackling sound, and the body swelled up. The sound of the muscles and bones bursting was like firecrackers. Take my palm. Boom. With the help of the aftermath of the explosion, a palm was slapped out. This palm was like thunder. It was as heavy as 1,000 pounds. It came out with suffocating hatred. Mingjia Zhang's face changed. The dead energy in his body surged, and he shook Ling Luoshi away with a palm. The ki on his body surged. The ki in his palm condensed and collided with Yuan Shizangsen's palm. Bang! With an explosion, Mingjia Zhang's body was shaken back several steps. His body was shaken back, and his feet stepped on the ground. Crackling. The bricks and stones on the ground collapsed. He even oozes 2 strands of blood from the corners of his mouth. 4 screens. When Mingjia Zhang blocked Yuan Shizangsen's palm, Ling Luoshi made a move. His figure rushed forward like a ghost. The true energy in his hand turned into a stone gate and hit the opponent. Mingjia Zhang roared, and his eyes burst into anger. He was suppressed by someone and injured. 9-turn life and death palm. Mingjia Zhang burst out with all his strength. His palm slapped out, and the death energy wrapped around it, and hit the stone gate. Boom boom, the 2 violent palm forces collided, and the airwaves spread out in all directions, rolling up the ground, and sending sand and rocks flying. The energy tore through the air like a raging wave, and it was no worse than the palm power of Cao Feng and others. Ling Luoshi's body was shaken back, and blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. But his eyes did not change at all, and his figure continued to rush out violently. The power in his palm continued to surge. Bombardment on the other side. Yuan Shisangson's palm power exploded, and his fist and foot skills exploded together, and he surrounded and killed Ming Jiazhan with Ling Luoshi. Previously, the divine power suppressed Ling Luoshi and Yuan Shisangson Ming Jiazhan, and for a time they were trapped in a siege. This situation was completely unexpected. He's been suppressed. I wonder if this 9th level fate has any trump cards. Su Chen, who was standing on the roof, said. He couldn't help but look at the cold woman beside him. The cold woman knew a lot, so Su Chen wanted to see what she would say. He's finished, the cold woman said in a deep voice. Chapter 839. Liu Sheng's sword activates the devil blood and kills Li Zhenbei with one sword. Su Chen was startled when he heard the cold woman's words. He didn't expect the cold woman to say such a thing. Although Yuan Shisangson had just stepped into the sea to concentrate, his ki was strong, and his divine power, the sad arrow, was a fierce killing method. Not only was the sad arrow powerful, but the hatred he just burst out was even more terrifying. These two forces, plus Ling Luoshi's power, Ming Jiazhan couldn't take care of both under the siege of these two people, so he would die. TSK. Just as she was talking, Ling Luoshi's palm slapped Ming Jiazhan's palm again. When they slapped together, Yuan Shisangson didn't attack. Instead, he turned around and appeared behind Ling Luoshi, and the terrifying ki flowed to Ling Luoshi's body. Bang! Ming Jiazhan was shocked and retreated. At the moment of retreating, Yuan Shisangson's sad arrow rose again. Boom! It instantly turned into a silver light and flashed out. Bang! Ming Jiazhan slapped his palm again to resist the sad arrow. At this moment, Ling Luoshi continued to bully him. At this moment, Ling Luoshi's aura suddenly began to change. At first, he was just fierce and aggressive. But at this moment, a terrifying spirit appeared on him. With the spirit, there was also a momentum that was as majestic as the mountains and rivers. It was completely different from the previous fierce momentum. Under this momentum, there was a feeling that the enemy would be defeated without a fight because of his spirit or pressure. General's order, Ling Luoshi shouted in a low voice and slapped out with his palm. When Ling Luoshi slapped out, Ming Jiazhan's whole body sank, and his heart was horrified. He knew that this palm was not simple. The dead air in his body was running rapidly. His originally pale face became even paler at this moment. But the palm power was permeated in his palm. A palm slapped out and collided with the palm power. When the palm power collided, Yuan Shisangson shot out violently and punched out. Bang! The fist appeared, and the ki power on Ming Jiazhan's body formed a strong ki to block the punch. Just when the ki jin appeared and blocked the punch, a sad little arrow appeared on his arm. Swish! The sad little arrow penetrated the ki. One arrow pierced into the opponent's body. Ah! Ming Jiazhan roared. The ki jin in his body was in chaos. Kill! Ling Luoshi seized this opportunity, leaned forward, and slapped the opponent's chest with his palm like a millstone. Bang! The body was knocked away by the blow, and blood spurted out of the corner of his mouth. At this moment, another sad little arrow appeared and pierced through the opponent's head, inserting the opponent's head into the ground. Bang! Then the arrow exploded, and the head broke. Ming Jiazhan, who was very arrogant before, died just like that. Some people watching the battle were slightly stunned when they saw this situation. Ming Jiazhan of the Tomb of the Dead died. Originally, the Lai family had the upper hand, but now it was not. When Ming Jiazhan died, Ling Luoshi and Yuan Shisangson were vacant. The strength they just showed was extremely domineering and very powerful. At this time, Li Zhenbei's eyes condensed when he fought with Liu Shengyijian. He was furious in his heart. He didn't expect that Ming Jiazhan failed to suppress Ling Luoshi and Yuan Shisangson, but was killed by Yuan Shisangson and Ling Luoshi. And he himself hadn't been able to take down Liu Shengyijian for such a long time. Anger surged in his heart. His palm blasted out again, and the airwave surged. The sword energy of Liu Shengyijian was scattered. The whole person was shocked again, and retreated several steps. The true energy on his body began to become extremely unstable. Boom. At this time, a terrifying aura appeared in the manor. When this aura appeared, several figures fled from the manor at a high speed. The figures who escaped were Wen Zuan and others. These figures fled. Their faces were a little pale. The strong man who appeared in the manor just now was very strong. With the appearance of this aura, a figure walked out of the manor. The person who walked out was wearing a purple gold robe with jet black hair flying in the wind. His eyes were as dark as a black hole. His face was slightly pale, but there was a flash of light in his eyes, full of a terrifying majesty. Lai Xiangshan has appeared. The cold woman next to Su Chen looked at the man who appeared and frowned slightly. She didn't expect Lai Xiangshan to appear at this time. Ancestor. Seeing the man who appeared, Lai Zhenbei saluted the man. Does it take so long to kill one person? Do you want me to help? Lai Xiangshan looked at Lai Zhenbei and said. Hearing Lai Xiangshan's words, Lai Zhenbei looked at Liu Shengyijian, and the murderous intent in his eyes surged. The strong true energy in his body began to emerge. The murderous aura was even more soaring. The murderous aura, the true energy slapped out with a palm. Liu Shengyijian's face condensed, and the remaining sword energy in his body quickly burst out, and he slashed out with a sword. Bang! Under this palm, Liu Shengyijian's body shot backwards, and a mouthful of blood spurted out of his mouth. The long knife in his hand was inserted into the ground, and his arm trembled. But at this moment, his eyes were stunned. The drop of demon blood that had been fused in his body before seemed to jump at this moment, appearing in his blood, and a terrifying black aura emerged from his body. This black breath carried a terrifying energy fluctuation. Liu Shengyijian roared. This roar also carried a heart-pounding power fluctuation. What's going on? Seeing this scene, the people watching the battle all focused their eyes on Liu Shengyijian. The devil blood was aroused, and the blood and ki in Liu Shengyijian's body began to boil. A blood-colored breath surged. His eyes also turned scarlet. He raised the long sword in his hand again, and the blood and ki flowed into the long sword. Along with this blood and ki, a terrifying thought also flowed into the long sword. I will kill you with one sword. Liu Shengyijian's low voice rang out. Lai Zhenbei was stunned. Sensing a huge terror, the power in his body began to surge rapidly, and it seemed to break some kind of restraint. Between heaven and earth, a sky gate appeared vaguely, but the moment this sky gate appeared, Liu Shengyijian had already slashed out with a sword. As soon as the terrifying sword light appeared, the whole world was silent. It seemed to cover up the sky gate. Then the black sword light fell. Boom. Lai Zhenbei's body was enveloped by the black sword light. After the sword light, the gate in the sky disappeared. Lai Zhenbei was still standing there, his body motionless. He looked at Liu Shengyijian. What kind of power is that? Lai Zhenbei looked at Liu Shengyijian and said. Liu Shengyijian was spitting blood at this moment. The long sword in his hand shattered, and the blood vessels on his arm burst. The power of the devil blood was too strong. He was absorbing it slowly. But this time, because he was completely suppressed by Lai Zhenbei, the devil blood was aroused and merged into his blood. He burst out with his attack. But it also caused him to suffer a huge trauma. Now it is barely standing. Seeing Liu Shengyijian didn't speak, Lai Zhenbei wanted to ask, but with a bang, his body was split into two. Seeing this situation, the fierce light in the eyes of Lai Xiangshan who appeared surged. He slapped Liu Shengyijian and his palm. I've been waiting for you for a long time. At this time, a figure appeared in front of Liu Shengyijian. With a raised palm, he easily resolved Lai Xiangshan's palm. Chapter 840. The evil godly Wuxi overwhelms the whole audience, and the ancestor of the Lai family is here. A simple palm shattered Lai Xiangshan's palm power. Kinglan Club also has strong people, but they have not made any moves. Seeing the person who appeared, some spectators' eyes condensed slightly. They all looked at the person who made the palm. The person who made the palm was an old man with white hair and a black robe. Although his aura was calm, he exuded a palpitating aura when he stood there. This palpitating aura was accompanied by an evil nature, which made people feel terrified. Take him down first. The figure that appeared spoke. A figure appeared beside Liu Shengyijian. It was Zhu Yiren who followed Liu Shengyijian. Zhu Yiren used the Jiangx and Tangming grass of the Holy Sword Lake to gather his divine power and stepped into the sea to concentrate. He supported Liu Shengyijian and left quickly. There is really a strong man. The cold woman next to Su Chen saw the appearance and showed surprise on her face. I don't know who he is from. Kinglan Club. Could he be the big dragon head of Kinglan Club? The cold woman murmured. Shouldn't it be? Su Chen said beside him. When Su Chen was talking to the other party, he actually wanted to know the other party's identity. He is very powerful. Although I have never seen the second dragon head Li Zunhun, this person is definitely stronger than others. If he is not the big dragon head, it is not right, said the cold woman. From the cold woman's words, we can know that she is very concerned about the Qinglan Club. The main person in charge of this matter is Ling Luoshi. Ling Luoshi is the first month hall master of the 12th hall of the Qinglan Club. The others, except Liu Sheng Yijian, who is the sword master, are all hall masters, so it is possible that this person is also a hall master, Su Chen said. Hearing Su Chen's words, the cold woman frowned slightly. At this moment, Lai Xiangshan looked at the figure that appeared and asked coldly, "Who are you?" "I'm Li Wuxi, the 12th month hall master of the Qinglan Club." The figure that appeared said, "Hall master? How can your strength be just that of a hall master?" Seeing Li Wuxi said, "What's impossible about this? Although the 12th hall of the Qinglan society is below the dragon head, it doesn't mean that the fighting power of the 12th hall master is inferior to that of the dragon head. My lineage has always occupied the position of the 12th month hall master of the Qinglan society," Li Wuxi said. Is there something about the position of the 12th month hall master?" Hearing Li Wuxi's words, Lai Xiangshan's eyes condensed. If there is anything, it's my lineage, representing the strongest fighting power of the 12th month hall. It's an honor for the Lai family to let me go. There is a breath on you, which should be the breath of a strong person above heaven and man. Use it, otherwise you won't have the opportunity to use it. Li Wuxi looked at Lai Xiangshan and said, "You." Hearing Li Wuxi's words, Lai Xiangshan's expression became extremely ugly. "Master of the April Hall, don't hold back. Kill that bold donkey with all your strength." Li Wuxi didn't look at Lai Xiangshan, but said to Wang Zumei. Hearing Li Wuxi's words, Wang Zumei nodded. Her eyes became sharp. The Xianmu master from Dashan Temple who appeared was about the same strength as him, and he also had the power of sound waves, and he also had a defensive treasure on him. This treasure was not ordinary. He could not kill the opponent without using his full strength. Previously, he was afraid that there would be other strong men on the other side, so he did not use his full strength. Because once he used his full strength, her strength would disappear in a short period of time, and she would not be able to fight again. Now that Li Wuxi appeared, she could completely burst out with all her strength. What? This April Hall master didn't use his full strength, so what else does he have? At this moment, the people watching the battle set their eyes on Wang Zumei. Wang Zumei looked at Xianmu master, and her expression became cold. The key on her body flowed, and a key appeared in her palm. The key flowed, flowing between her fingers. Her fingers fell on the Xianmukin. Boom. At this moment, a terrifying sound wave appeared on the Xianmukin. The sound wave was like a dragon's roar. When the sound of the dragon's roar appeared, the sky and the earth became dark. The look of the Xianmu master who was fighting with Wang Zumei changed. He was surrounded by a terrifying sound of the piano. Although it was the sound of the piano, it carried a demonic meaning, and the killing intention was condensed. The indestructible body of Vajra. At this moment, the Xianmu master roared, and a Buddha light appeared around him, forming a huge screen of aura. Qian long wave. The Buddhist sound burst out from his mouth. A low roar came out. Dang dang dang. Wang Zumu's hands moved quickly. In an instant, 8 sounds burst out. The Buddhist sound that the Xianmu master burst out all exploded under this sound wave. Then it hit the aura screen. The aura screen burst instantly. It hit the Xianmu master. The Xianmu master was hit by the sound wave, and a layer of defense appeared on his body to resist the sound wave. However, the power of this sound wave was too huge, causing his body to be shaken back. A mouthful of blood spurted out of his mouth. At the moment he retreated, Wang Zumu's body flew into the air, and the sound waves in her hand continued to emit. The Xianmu master could only barely resist. When he resisted, suddenly, a silver string flew out, accompanied by the sound of sound waves. This silver string could not be found in the key. Xianmu Shangren just stabilized his body and slapped his palm to resist the string. But swish, a silver light flashed. In an instant, his throat was pierced by the silver string. The movement of his hand paused. The silver string flew back. Wang Zumi slapped her palm and landed on the opponent's head. Bang! The key rushed into the opponent's body from the head. The body exploded. Only a cassock was left. The cassock was caught in her hand. The figure returned. On the other side, Tang Mu, who was fighting with Cao Feng, sensed this change. His expression changed, and he shook Cao Feng away with the palm and was about to escape into the distance. You are here, and you still want to leave. Can you leave? With the sound, a palm slapped out. The palm slapped out. The key was like a dragon under the sea, winding and whistling out. A round column of red and white air was formed, sweeping towards him. Tang Mu, who was trying to escape, changed his expression and tried to resist. But his palm collided with the air force, and a terrifying flame surged into his palm. Just as he was resisting, a cold air suddenly broke out, and a layer of black ice covered his arm in an instant. He was shocked. But at this time, Cao Feng had already appeared in front of him. Escape is the behavior of the weak. If you beat me, you may be able to leave, but you can't escape. Bang! The palm hit the opponent's chest. Bang! Tang Mu's body was blown away by a palm. He fell to the ground, spitting blood from his mouth. Then he fell to the ground with an unwilling look in his eyes. At this moment, the atmosphere became solemn. The Lai family, the 36 alien races, and the invited strong men, none of them survived. King Longhu the 12th Hall Master Li Wuxi is too strong. His eyes couldn't help but look at Lai Xiangxing, the ancestor of the Lai family. You are the only one left. I'll give you a chance. Li Wuxi looked at Lai Xiangxing and said, you. Hearing Li Wuxi, Lai Xiangxing's eyes turned ferocious. At this moment, he had no choice but to fight with all his strength and kill Li Wuxi. If he could kill one, he would kill one. Lin Shen. Lai Xiangxing growled, and a breath that did not belong to him appeared on his body. Chapter 841, Killing with one palm and shaking the heavenly gate. He could sense the terrifying power contained in Li Wuxi. He was no match for him. The power of the body appeared. The world changed. Boom. The world changed, and the shadow of the Heaven Gate appeared again. Heaven Gate. I didn't expect that the Heaven Gate would appear many times recently, and they were all because of the new forces. The cold woman next to Su Chen said. She stared at the shadow of the Heaven Gate. There was a glimmer in her eyes. Indeed, this Heaven Gate has appeared all the time during this period. I'm curious about what is above this Heaven Gate. Su Chen asked when he saw the cold woman mention the Heaven Gate. From her words, the cold woman knew a lot about the Heaven Gate. The Heaven Gate is a barrier, or a protection. As for the world above the Heaven Gate, it is a more cruel world. You have an unusual aura, and are able to break the Heaven Gate and leave. But maybe staying in this world would be a better choice. Sometimes life is very fragile, the cold woman said. Hearing this, Su Chen was stunned. He thought that this cold woman was extraordinary at first. Now that the other party said such words, his identity might be more complicated than he thought. But Ren Qianxing from Xian'an Pavilion broke through Xianmen and left. Isn't Xianmen a kind of yearning for warriors? It is rumored that the sword master of Shengjian Lake also wanted to enter Xianmen at that time. Su Chen said. Ren Qianxing from Xian'an Pavilion is indeed not simple. If he grows up above Xianmen, he will definitely be a strong man. I just don't know if he can grow up. I haven't heard of Xian'an Pavilion, a human force above Xianmen. Geniuses without background sometimes find it difficult to rise. The cold woman said. The girl is from Xianmen. I wonder what your name is? Su Chen asked. In his heart, he was shocked by the cold woman's evaluation of Ren Qianxing. My name is Li Han Qiu. The cold woman said. She didn't hide her name. Hearing the woman's words, Su Chen's eyes changed. Li Han Qiu, the new owner of the Tomb of the Dead is called Li Han Qiu. Could it be that this cold woman is the new owner of the Tomb of the Dead? You've become the master of the Tomb of the Dead at such a young age. Su Chen's heart moved slightly. Boom. Just as Su Chen was thinking, the shadow of Xianmen that burst out in the void became more and more dignified. The whole space became extremely depressing. The terrifying power was gathering, as if locking onto the person with the bursting breath. Under the atmosphere, Li Wuxi's expression remained unchanged, and his eyes looked at Lai Xiangxing, whose breath was constantly surging. Although the other party's breath was surging, it was condensed at one point. Are you afraid that the power of Xianmen will fall? Li Wuxi looked at Li Xiangshan. But your power will not pose a threat to me at all. Li Wuxi looked at Li Xiangshan. Hearing Li Wuxi's words, Li Xiangshan's eyes were gloomy. Take my move first. Split the sky. 4 symbol sword seal. Li Xiangshan shouted in a low voice. His eyes became deep, his palm raised, and the terrifying true energy quickly gathered towards the center of his palm. Boom! The true energy in the palm continued to condense into 4 sword shadows, and 4 phantoms of fierce beasts were suspended above the sword shadows. The 4 sword shadows appeared, and an endless killing aura permeated. 4 symbol sword seal. It seems that this Li family has some relationship with the 4 symbol sword palace in Huangzhou. Seeing the 4 figures appear in the palm, the cold woman said, Huangzhou, 4 symbol sword palace. Chen, who was beside her, listened to these words and his heart moved slightly. 4 beast shadows appeared. 2 of them merged into the sword shadows. Boom. 2 sword shadows enveloped Li Wuxi. 2. It seems that you can only use 2 without bursting out all your strength. Facing the 2 sword shadows, Li Wuxi shook his head slightly. It was a pity, but the true energy in his body began to circulate rapidly. The divine power also burst out instantly, and a palm appeared in the divine power. The palm had a hint of golden some Buddhist aura. This was completely opposite to the evil nature that burst out from Li Wuxi. But for some reason, Li Wuxi did not feel a sense of disobedience. The palm appeared, and a palm was slapped out. The terrifying true energy and divine power all poured into the palm. A huge palm print appeared. Heavenly Buddha palm. Li Wuxi shouted, and slapped out with his palm. It collided with the 2 sword shadows that fell. Boom. The huge palm print hit the 2 sword shadows that fell. The sword shadows seemed to be under great pressure. It didn't last long and broke directly. At the moment, when the 2 sword shadows broke, the sword cutting Li Xiangshan's face changed, a muffled groan came from his throat, and a mouthful of blood spurted out. Burst out all your strength, and use the power of Xianmen to fight me, Li Wuxi said coldly. The voice spread out. This Li Wuxi is very powerful, but it's a pity that he is a little old. Otherwise, with such strength, if he enters Xianmen and doesn't die, he will become a strong man. Looking at Li Wuxi in the field, the cold woman said in a deep voice, Miss Li means that you can deal with this Li Wuxi. Chen saw Li Hanqiu's evaluation of Li Wuxi, and couldn't help but say, this Li Hanqiu was a little arrogant. I'm not his opponent now. Li Hanqiu replied. If it's not now, then it must have been before. Could it be that Li Hanqiu came down from the heavenly gate? Chen thought to himself. Even if I die, I will kill you. Boom. Li Xiangshan roared, and the breath that was originally stuck at the critical point on his body was released instantly. The moment he released it, the heavenly gate in the void seemed to sense the target. In an instant, the terrifying thunder force fell. 4 symbol sword seal, reverse. Li Xiangshan roared, and this time he formed a seal with his palm. 4 streams of true energy surged out, and turned into 4 sword shadows. 4 terrifying beast shadows flashed in the sword shadows. Boom! The first heavenly gate power fell. But it was reversed, and disappeared by the 4 sword intentions. Unite, kill. Li Xiangshan clasped his hands together, and the 4 sword shadows instantly merged into one, turning into a dark sword light. 1 sword cut down, and the world was annihilated. Only endless darkness fell. Heavenly Buddha opens the world. At this moment, the aura of the evil god Li Wuxi surged. The terrifying power surged out. Xianmen sensed the power of Li Wuxi. Boom. A force fell directly. But on the way down, it was shattered by the terrifying palm power on Li Wuxi's palm, shattering the power of Xianmen. Slapping towards the sword shadow. Boom. The terrifying power went all around. The whole world seemed to be in a disaster. The whole space became dark, and the energy storm was raging. Boom. Xianmen was provoked, and the power erupted again. The terrifying power felt like a rainstorm in the thunder. In this rainstorm and thunder, Li Xiangshan let out a scream. As for the evil god Li Wuxi, he let out a low roar. He didn't resist the thunder power that erupted from Xianmen at all, and let the thunder power attack his whole body. Kai kai. The sound erupted from him. His body seemed to explode, and he fell down, and the whole person seemed to be fuzzy. At this moment, the power on Shineman disappeared. The world recovered. Everyone looked at the burnt Li Wuxi. He didn't resist, and let the lightning power of Shineman bombard him. What did he want to do? The cold woman looked surprised. In her surprise, Li Wuxi stood up. Just now, he used his unique skill. Force the soul. Force the soul. It is a supreme secret skill cultivated by the evil god. When it is used, it can stop all the functions of the whole body. Protect the only trace of his spiritual intelligence with a little bit of true energy in his heart, and let himself recover again with the inspiration of this trace of spiritual intelligence. The reason he did this was to absorb some of the power of the thunder from Shineman. To better study Shineman. Looking at Li Wuxi who stood up, the cold woman's eyes showed horror. I take back my words. This kind of strong man who doesn't care about his life and has terrifying vitality is most suitable to enter Shineman and will develop better. The cold woman said, "Thank you friends for the reward. Thank you." Chapter 842 Above the Heavenly Gate, the 12 States of the Human Race. Su Chen was a little stunned when he heard what Li Han Qiu said. He didn't expect Li Han Qiu to have such an evaluation of Li Wuxi. Miss Li, you think so highly of Li Wuxi, the 12th Hall Master of the Qinglang Society? Su Chen said. There are only a few people who can shake the thunder and lightning of Shineman with their own flesh. How can you not think highly of such a person? Li Han Qiu said. After talking for so long, I still don't know what your name is? Li Han Qiu turned to look at Su Chen. I'm Su Chen, and I meet the master of the dead man's tomb, Li Han Qiu. At this moment, Su Chen pointed out the other party's identity. Hearing what Su Chen said, a trace of surprise flashed in Li Han Qiu's beautiful eyes, but then she became calm. It seems that you knew my identity a long time ago. I don't know how you knew my identity. Li Han Qiu looked at Su Chen and said, when I was in Jinling City, I knew that the new owner of the dead man's tomb was named Li Han Qiu. You showed up at this time, and you are very concerned about the Qinglang Society, and you are familiar with the people of the dead man's tomb. If I can't guess your identity, based on your name, then I will really fail. Su Chen said softly. Aren't you afraid that I will kill you? At such a close distance, I only need one move to kill you. Li Han Qiu looked at Su Chen, who was emitting a sharp aura. If Miss Li wanted to kill me, she wouldn't have to speak, but just do it directly. Of course, even at such a close distance, if you just make a move, you will be the one to die. Su Chen showed a very confident look on his face. Young Master Su is really confident. Looking at the confident look on Su Chen's face, her beautiful eyes moved slightly. If you don't believe it, Miss Li can try it. Su Chen said with a smile. It seems that I can't do it. To be honest, Su Xiaolan Xiao, I still want to thank you. Thank you, Qinglang Society, for helping me clean up some people, so that I can better control dead man's tomb. Li Han Qiu restrained her breath and said, well, it seems that Miss Li's control over dead man's tomb is a little weak. I wonder if you can talk about it briefly. Su Chen looked at Li Han Qiu and said, this Li Han Qiu should have come down from the Heavenly Gate. Knowing what happened on the Heavenly Gate, Su Chen really wanted to learn something from her. What's more, Su Chen felt that the other party was also intentionally contacting them. He also wanted to see the other party's purpose. In a quiet tea house, Su Chen and Li Han Qiu sat opposite each other. Li Han Qiu took off her veil, and her face was cold and beautiful. Miss Li, are you here just to watch the battle this time? I'm indeed just here to watch the battle and take a look at the strength of Qinglang Society. At first, I contacted Su Xiaolan Xiao, thinking of bringing Su Xiaolan Xiao into my dead man's tomb. Li Han Qiu said with a smile. Ask me to join the ghost of the dead. Su Chen was a little confused when he heard Li Han Qiu's words. Young Dragon Chief Su has a surging aura, which is several times stronger than the average Danshan Huahe warrior. Of course, I want to absorb such a young and powerful person into my ghost of the dead. But I didn't expect you to be the young dragon chief of the Blue Dragon Association. I don't know which human race force above Shineman did young dragon chief Su learn from. Li Han Qiu looked at Su Chen and said, young dragon chief Su of the Blue Dragon Association has used the power of the body The power of the body can only be possessed by the strong above Shaman. And this strong person must be alive. That's why she asked this question. To be honest, I don't know either. I just got an opportunity, and with this opportunity, I became the young dragon chief of the Blue Dragon Association. I don't know anything about Shaman. Miss Lee should have come down from Shaman. I wonder if you can give me some detailed information about Shaman. If she didn't want to know the information about Shaman from Li Han-Qiu, he should be in the ancestral lands of the 36 alien races at this moment, intercepting the fortunes of the ancestral lands of the 36 alien races. Opportunity. It seems that it is the opportunity left here by the strong men above Shaman. This opportunity is not simple. I can tell you roughly about the situation above Shaman. Above Shaman is a wider world. I don't know how big the world is. It is known that the three major ethnic forces gather in the area: the human race, the wild beasts, and the demons. The three major forces have been fighting each other for resources. I won't introduce the wild beasts and demons. After you go up, you will naturally know that the area occupied by the human race can be divided into 12 states. The 12 states are Xianzhao, Lizhao, Zhangzhao, Qingzhao, Huangzhao, Shenzhao, Yunzhao, Yuzhao, Yuzhao, Hanhei, Zuiyu, and Liashazhao. Today, the Qinglan Club destroyed the Lai family, which should have something to do with the four-symbol sword palace in Huangzhou among the 12 states. Li Han-Qiu said, occupying 12 states, does it mean that the human race is the most respected in Shaman? Su Chen couldn't help but say, the human race is the most powerful? How is that possible? The human race is inherently weak, while the demons and wild beasts are inherently superior. With inherent advantages, they must have robbed more resources, and must be the strongest. The human race is the weakest among the three major races. But in the past 100,000 years, our human race has produced 2 emperors in a row, so we are not far behind in terms of the strongest combat power. Li Han-Qiu said. Didn't expect it to be like this, Su Chen said in a deep voice. But it was completely consistent with some of the information he had obtained before. Li Han-Qiu did not lie to him. What about our world? Su Chen asked in confusion. This world was opened up by the human emperor who left fire to protect the human race. The human race is weak and may be at risk of being exterminated. Before his death, the Thunder Emperor of the human race used his last life to open up this world. The Heavenly Gate is the threshold set by the Thunder Emperor for this world. When Li Han-Qiu mentioned the Thunder Emperor, his expression was full of admiration. There is only one world like this? Su Chen interrupted Li Han-Qiu's admiring expression. There are 3. This is just one of them. The other 2 were also opened up when the 2 emperors fell. Li Han-Qiu said. From what you said, I feel that the emperor should be the strongest. Even the strong have fallen. It is indeed cruel above Shaman. Su Chen shook his head. It is very cruel. Young Master Su is not going to enter Shaman. Li Han-Qiu looked at Su Chen and said. How is that possible? Although this world is good, the lifespan is limited. I'm a person who pursues immortality. Su Chen said that he had subordinates to help him fight for hegemony. He only needs immortality and immortality. He will also become the hegemon of the world. There is one thing I want to ask Miss Lee. I don't know why Miss Lee came to this world. There are still many people above Xianmen in this world. Su Chen asked the doubts in his heart. Although Xianmen is a bit cruel, the human race occupies the 12 states, and there must be many powerful forces. Logically, there is no need to send people here. I was chased by someone and escaped here with serious injuries. There are great emperor's laws here, which will limit strength. As for the others, some are here for training, while others are exiled. Of course, training and exile are sometimes the same thing. After all, not everyone can open the gates to leave here. Li Han-Qiu said. Su Chen understood what Li Han-Qiu meant. Suddenly, a bright light flashed in Su Chen's mind. This Li Han-Qiu is a person above the gate of heaven. Does he have the aura of an emperor of Europe? He has 5 orange lottery cards on him. Su Chen immediately drew out the 5 orange lottery cards on his body. Obtain the 12 chapters of the Linglang Juzayang of the Yindao technique. Obtain the Kijukinayan of the Yindao technique. Obtain the power of the Purple Robe Marquis. Exclusive character Zhu Yaran. Obtain the character Yan Nanfei. Obtain the character Gaini. Right square bracket. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 843, Yan Nanfei, Sword Saint Gaini, and the registered disciple of the Changsheng Society appear. Looking at the rewards he received this time, Su Chen was shocked. This Li Han Qiu really has the temperament of an emperor of Europe. He brought him so many rewards at once. 2 sets of sound path skills, the 12 chapters of Linglang Juzayang, that is the skill of the Redkin Fairy and the strong sword, the skill that the sword saint Bitangao has been thinking about for a long time. Kiju Kinyan is the unique skill of the Death Heart Master in the magic sword Life and Death chess, and it is rumored that it can break the existence of the innate Ganki. If these 2 sets of sound wave skills are given to Wang Zumei, then her sound path skills will definitely be further improved, and her strength will become stronger. Ziyi Hao, a character in Huanhua Zijianlu, he has no name, seems to be omnipotent, and his whereabouts are mysterious, but his strength is comparable to that of the white-clothed man in the East China Sea. Zhu Yiren obtains the full body skills of such a character, and his strength may reach the top. Yan Nanfei is a character in Shan Yaming Yudao, the first person on the Jianghu celebrity list, and the substitute of Gang Ziyu. In the TV series, he is a character who has mastered the Great Sadness. In the novel, the character is a little tragic, and not as ambitious as in the TV series. In the novel, Yan Nanfei has a free and unrestrained personality, and is also a lonely and self-aware knight. However, he is just a puppet of Gang Ziyu to control the martial arts world, a sad and lamentable chess piece. Of course, the person who can be the first on the Jianghu celebrity list must be strong. Su Chen took a look at the other party's strength. His eyes condensed slightly. Yan Nanfei's strength was actually the top. Haze Han concentration. Another Hall Master has come to the 12 Hall Masters. Su Chen thought in his heart. Finally, his eyes fell on Gaini. Gaini is a character in the cartoons Kenshi Ming Yuan Shan Crossing Jiu Jet, a master of vertical and horizontal strategy, the descendant of Giguzang's swordsmanship. His swordsmanship is superb, and he enjoys the title of Sword Saint in the world. He has a calm temperament, acts calmly, is righteous, and cares about the world. He is a fellow apprentice with Wei Zhuang. I don't know how strong he is. Su Chen was a little excited. Gaini's strength was concentrated in the top C, and he was about to step into the broken state, and there was also a note, broken. Awesome. Su Chen's face showed joy. Li Han Qiu, who was opposite him, saw a smile on Su Chen's face, and was a little confused. Did Su Shaolan Shao think of anything good? Yes, it's a good thing. Thank you Miss Li for helping me understand the situation above Shanman this time. But I have one more thing to ask Miss Li. What is it? That is, what does Miss Li think of Emperor Zhao? Su Chen always felt that the current situation of the Great Zhao dynasty was a little confusing. Emperor Zhao is the 13th son of the Lord of the Great Zhao dynasty, one of the 5 great dynasties in Yazhou. It seems that something happened back then, and his soul fell into this world. As for his current situation, I can't say, because I have only been in this world for a short time. But I looked at the information and I'm a little confused about Emperor Zhao's current state. Li Han Qiu said. You are also confused. It seems that our Emperor Zhao is planning something, but he is already the master of this world. What else can he plan? Su Chen couldn't figure it out. Capital, the residence of the 7th prince. The 7th prince Liu looked dazed, looking at the secret report in his hand absent-mindedly. For a moment, he didn't know what to say. He was a little shocked. Gongsun Mingjing, who was standing not far from him, frowned slightly when he saw the expression of the 7th Prince Liu. Your Highness, the secret report. The secret report was directly presented to the 7th Prince Liu, and he had not read it. The 7th Prince Liu felt a little dry in his mouth at this moment. He put the secret letter on the table tremblingly, picked up a cup of tea beside him, and drank it all in one gulp. Then he said, "The Life family and the 36 alien tribes are finished. The ancestors of the Life family and Lysenby are all dead. Not only did they lose the 36 alien tribe leaders, but also the people they invited. All dead." After saying this, the 7th Prince Liu leaned back in his chair, his whole body a little limp. The Life family is finished, which is a huge blow to him. Boom. Gongsun Mingjing in front of him was shocked, and a little bit unbelievable. He took the secret letter in his hand and read it. After reading the secret letter, Gongsun Mingjing's face turned pale. His expression was a little bitter. Li Wuxi, the 12th Hall Master of the Qinglang Society, is so strong that he killed the ancestor of the Life family with one palm, and finally resisted Xianmen. Looking at the content of the secret letter, Gongsun Mingjing was a little bit unbelievable, and could not accept this result. Leaning back on the chair, the 7th Prince Liu slowly calmed down. "Now we have to shrink, notify everyone, and be on guard recently. Don't give others a chance." The 7th Prince Liu said in a deep voice. "Your Highness, there is no need to be pessimistic. We also made 2 preparations at that time. One is to win, and the other is to lose. Although the Life family and the 36 alien tribes are finished, the people of the Qinglang Society killed the Xianmu Master of the Dashan Temple. Xianmu Master is the junior brother of the national teacher Xianmi Master. Xianmi Master is the leader of the esoteric sect. The last Qinglang Society incident caused some estrangement with the eldest prince. This gives us an opportunity. We can contact Xianmi Master," Gongsun Mingjing said. Hearing Gongsun Mingjing's words, the originally gloomy expression of the 7th Prince Liu suddenly became bright. The body sat up again. "It's an opportunity. The Ministry of Personnel, the esoteric sect. If everyone can gather with us, even if the Life family is finished, I won't lose much. But this Qinglang Society is a bit scary," the 7th Prince Liu said in a deep voice. "Your Highness, we have no other choice now. If you don't cooperate with the Ministry of Personnel and the esoteric sect, your Highness can only withdraw from the battle for the throne," Gongsun Mingjing said. "Withdraw? How can I, Liu, withdraw?" Hearing this, a sharp light flashed in Liu's eyes. "Your Highness, someone outside wants to see you. Here is their visiting card." At this time, a servant came in from outside. Liu opened the visiting card in his hand, his eyes slightly condensed. "Please let the person in," Liu said. "Yes." The servant immediately withdrew. "People from the Changsheng Society." After the servant left, the 7th Prince Liu said in a low voice. "What? People from the Changsheng Society?" Gongsun Mingjing, who was beside him, was stunned, with a look of surprise in his eyes. After a while, 2 figures were brought into the hall by the servants. 1 man and 1 woman. The man had a tall figure, and his appearance was not handsome, but he gave people a very special feeling. Especially his eyes were very deep, and radiated cold light. The woman was a young woman with a graceful figure and beautiful curves, and her clothes were a little revealing. The slender white legs were faintly visible under the almost transparent skirt. Especially the towering breasts were wrapped in a layer of gauze, which was very tempting. The face was beautiful and enchanting, revealing endless charm. She walked in side by side with the man. "Meet His Royal Highness the 7th Prince. I'm Liu Zhang, and this is my junior sister Liu Lina. We are the registered disciples of the leader of the Eternal Life Society." After the young man came in, he saluted to Liu and introduced. Chapter 844, Qian'an Sect, one of the 4 evil sects. Plots. "You 2 are so brave that you came to the capital at this time. Aren't you afraid that this prince will arrest you and hand you over to the Xianjian division? The Xianjian division has been looking for you, the Changsheng Society." The eyes of the 7th Prince Liu were cold. Under Liu's gaze, Liu Zhang and Liu Lina were calm. "Your Highness, the 2 of us are just registered disciples of the Changsheng Society. You can't get any useful information if you arrest us. What's more, we dare to come to see your Highness, so of course we have made preparations. Our public identity is the head disciple of the Qian'an sect," Liu Zhang said. Hearing Luo Zhang's words, the seventh prince's eyes condensed slightly. I didn't expect that these two people were not only the registered disciples of the leader of the Changsheng society, but also the head disciples of the Xian'an sect, one of the four evil sects. The Xian'an sect and the Changsheng society? What did the seventh prince Liu want to know from this? Seventh prince, if we cooperate, you will know something then. Luo Zhang did not answer the seventh prince's words, but changed the subject. Cooperate with me. What can I cooperate with you? Liu looked at Luo Zhang and said. Seventh prince, can we help you get in touch with the leader of the Tantric Buddhism, the national teacher Xian Mishangren? Luo Zhang said. Yes. Hearing this, the seventh prince's eyes condensed. Just now he was thinking of using the matter of Xian Mishangren of Dashan Temple to get in touch with Xian Mishangren. Unexpectedly, the other party came and said that he could help him contact Xian Mishangren. Help me get in touch with Xian Mishangren. I see that you are asking for a lot, so tell me what you want to do first. Seventh Prince Liu looked at the two and said, we just want to ask your highness the seventh prince to do a small favor. Luo Zhang looked at the seventh Prince Liu and said, help a small favor? I'm afraid your matter is not as simple as a small favor. Liu said coldly. It is indeed a small favor for your highness. Recently, the head of the Xianjian division, Mirren King Chen, will bring a few people back to the capital. Those people are the servants of Fang Huayan, the disciple of the head of the association. We Changsheng Association do not want these people to return to the capital safely. Luo Zhang said. Hearing Luo Zhang's words, the pupils of the seventh Prince Liu suddenly shrank. It seems that you are afraid of revealing the location of your Changsheng association. These people are very important. It may be difficult to kill them. The seventh prince frowned and said, Your Highness, don't worry. You don't need to do this. You just need to grasp their whereabouts. When the time comes, we will take action, and don't trouble your highness. The young man said. Hearing the young man's words, Liu frowned slightly. Seventh prince, now that the Lai family and the 36 alien tribes have been destroyed by the Qinglang society, you also need a strong helper. Help us. You can not only get in touch with Master Xianmi, but also cooperate with my Xian'an sect and Changsheng society. This can help you get the throne. At this time, the charming Liu Lina said beside Luo Zhang. Liu Lina's voice was soft. With her extremely charming temperament, the seventh Prince Liu was moved. By the way, I practice the Xian'an sect, Yin Yang Hehuan Dafa, which can help the seventh prince break through the existing bottleneck. Liu Lina said very boldly. Her lips were rosy and her eyes were teasing, which made people have endless reverie. If that's the case, this prince is interested. You stay in this mansion today. Luo Zhang, I agree to your cooperation. Come here. The seventh Prince Liu called the servant outside the door. Take the two guests to the backyard to rest. Liu ordered. Thank you very much, your highness. Luo Zhang bowed and followed the attendant outside the door. What do you think of this matter? Liu's eyes became very clear. Your highness, this is good for us. Princess Mirren has a good relationship with the fourth prince. Once Princess Mirren has a firm foothold in the Xianjian division, it will not be good news for us. And when Princess Mirren went to Luoyang, she met Su Chen, the young dragon leader of the Qinglang society. Maybe the Lai family matter is also related to Princess Mirren? It is possible that the Qinglang society dealt with the Lai family and wiped out its 36 clans, and it was Princess Mirren who helped the fourth prince to weaken your power. Gongsun Mingjing said in a deep voice. Hearing Gongsun Mingjing's words, the eyes of the seventh Prince Liu revealed a trace of haze. I know about this matter. You go to receive the two people and test the other party. I want to find out their true intentions. I want to think carefully about how to do this. The seventh Prince Liu said. I understand. Gongsun Mingjing bowed to Liu and left the hall. In the backyard of the palace, in a small courtyard, Liu Lina and Luo Zhang were arranged here. I didn't expect that junior sister's charm is still irresistible. I believe Liu will fall at the feet of junior sister. Luo Zhang looked at Liu Lina and said. Don't underestimate Liu. He is not much influenced by me. The purpose of our coming is to complete the order of Master and kill the people Mir and King Chen brought back from Jiangnan. Liu Liner said. As long as Liu helps us find the whereabouts, we can send out the middle and high masters at that time, and those people will not be able to reach the capital. Liu Zhang said coldly. You think too simply. Just as he said this, a low voice sounded in their ears. Gongsun Mingjing stepped into the courtyard. Hello, Uncle Master. Seeing this, the two bowed to Gongsun Mingjing. They called Gongsun Mingjing Uncle Master. From this title, it can be seen that Gongsun Mingjing is either from the Changsheng Society or the Xian'an sect. You don't need to call me uncle here. I'm the retainer of the 7th Prince Liu. Follow me into the room. Gongsun Mingjing pushed open a house while speaking. He walked into it. Liu Zhang and Liu Liner followed him in. The 7th Prince Liu is not as simple as you think. It is not so easy to control him. Sister Ruiyu, where is he now? Gongsun Mingjing said. Master, the head of the sect is in the city now. This is the address. A note appeared in Liu Liner's hand and she handed it to Gongsun Mingjing. Gongsun Mingjing glanced at the note and the key in his palm moved and the note turned into ashes. Liu, you should practice dual cultivation with you tonight, and you cannot use any time period. Wait until you gain some trust from him and then wait for my notice on how to control Liu. Gongsun Mingjing said. Yes. Liu Liner nodded immediately. Late at night, a figure walked out of the 7th Prince's mansion. The figure was very fast. Not long after, it appeared in a small courtyard manor. The manor seemed very quiet, with only one light on in the hall. The figure fell down. With the help of the moonlight, the figure's face could be clearly seen. It was Gongsun Mingjing. Gongsun Mingjing entered the hall. In the hall, a figure was sitting on the main chair. The figure was wearing a purple long skirt. A beautiful woman. The woman sat there, but she exuded a smoky and seductive look. Hello, senior sister. Gongsun Mingjing saluted the purple-skirted woman. The purple-skirted woman was the head of the Xian'an sect, Yan Ruiyu. Chapter 845. National Master Xianmi, second elder of the Changsheng Society. Junior brother Gongsun, I haven't seen you for several years. I hope you are doing well. Please take a seat. Yan Ruiyu waved her hand. Thank you, senior sister. Gongsun Mingjing sat down on the chair on the right. Junior brother, now the plan is going according to your way. You should tell me the details of the follow-up. Yan Ruiyu looked at Gongsun Mingjing and said. I just received the order from Master. Master recently gave me the order to control the 7th Prince. Gongsun Mingjing said. It is not so easy to control the children of the royal family. It is impossible to do it with Liner's methods. Yan Ruiyu said in a deep voice. Senior sister, don't worry. Liner is just one of them. The real one is Master. Master, is he in the capital now? Hearing Gongsun Mingjing's words, Yan Ruiyu was shocked. Yes, and Master has been in the capital for more than 10 years. Gongsun Mingjing said. Master has been in the capital for more than 10 years. Hasn't Master been in Changsheng Island all the time? How could he be in the capital? Upon hearing the news, a look of horror flashed in Yan Ruiyu's beautiful eyes. Her master is the second elder of the Eternal Life Association. I was also surprised when I heard the news. But this is not what we care about. Master said that if we can complete this plan, we can become official members of the Eternal Life Association. When we enter the Heavenly Gate, we will be guaranteed. Gongsun Mingjing said becoming an official member of the Longevity Association. The number of official members of the Longevity Association is fixed. I'm afraid we can't become one. Yan Ruiyu shook her head and said in Luoyang City, Jiangnan, at the Holy Sword Lake, the president's disciple Fang Huoyuan and a fourth elder died. We can't get the president's disciple, but we may be able to compete for the position of the fourth elder. Of course, it's not just the fourth elder. Master also said that the eldest elder is preparing to enter the Heavenly Gate recently. If he can enter the Heavenly Gate, Master will become the eldest elder. If you can't enter the Heavenly Gate, the position of the eldest elder will also be lost, so 2 places will be vacated. This is your and my chance. Gongsun Mingjing said. Hearing Gongsun Mingjing's words, Yan Ruiyu's eyes flashed. This is indeed good news. Where is the master? I have time to go and see the master. Although Gongsun Mingjing said it very well, Yan Ruiyu still had to see the master in person to confirm this matter. The master is not convenient to see my sister for the time being, Gongsun Mingjing said. Seeing this, Yan Ruiyu's eyes flashed with coldness. Junior brother, it is not convenient for me to see the master, so how do I know that your plan is arranged by the master? Yan Ruiyu's voice was a little cold. The master is now in Dafeng Temple. Your identity is not suitable for seeing the master now. Only the master can come to see you, Gongsun Mingjing said hurriedly. The master is in Dafeng Temple. Dafeng Temple is one of the 4 ancestral temples of Tantric Buddhism. The leader of Tantric Buddhism, Xianmi Master, is in Dafeng Temple. Master him. Hearing this, Yan Ruiyu was stunned and said, the master killed Xianmi Master 6 years ago and became the current Xianmi Master, Gongsun Mingjing said. What? Hearing this, Yan Ruiyu's beautiful eyes showed horror. She didn't expect that her master actually killed the leader of the Tantric sect, Master Xianmi, and replaced Master Xianmi. If this news spreads, I'm afraid the whole world will be shocked. So it's not suitable for senior sister to see master, Gongsun Mingjing said. But senior sister, don't worry, I have informed master of your arrival. I believe master will come to see you soon, Gongsun Mingjing said afterwards. While he was speaking, suddenly, there was silence in the hall. It seemed that something suddenly appeared and suppressed all the surrounding aura. The two people's faces changed, and they looked out the door at the same time. The moment they looked, a black figure appeared at the door of the hall like a ghost. Seeing this figure, Yan Ruiyu quickly stood up and saluted with Gongsun Mingjing. Meet master. No need to be polite. While the person was talking, he sat on the main chair that Yan Ruiyu had previously held. Ruiyu, I haven't seen you for more than 10 years. Your strength has progressed a little slowly. At this speed, I'm afraid it will be difficult to step into the broken. The sitting figure was wrapped in a black robe, and his face could not be seen clearly. But his tone was old and full of strength. Master, the 4 evil sects were dispersed by Emperor Zhao, and I took over the Xian'an sect with limited resources. I'm better off, because the Zhao dynasty has loosened its control over the martial arts world in recent years. I really hope to be by your side, master. In this way, my strength will definitely improve faster, Yan Ruiyu said. I summoned you here this time for an opportunity. If I get it, it will be of great help to me after I step into the heavenly gate. It's important to me, and it's also an opportunity for you. If you help me get that opportunity, I will let you become elders of the Changsheng society, the man in black robe said in a deep voice. Everything will be arranged by master. The two bowed immediately. Okay, this time, we will take advantage of the fact that Fang Huoyuan's people were brought into the capital and the death of Master Xianmu of Dashan Temple to fully cooperate with Liuu. After gaining his trust, I will use the Xianx in Dafa to control Liuu. At that time, with the help of Liuu, I will steal the dragon luck of the great Zhao dynasty. The black-robed man said, Master, now that Emperor Zhao is in trouble and the great Zhao dynasty is facing collapse, do we still need to steal the dragon luck of the great Zhao dynasty? Yan Ruiyu couldn't help but ask. The dragon luck of the great Zhao dynasty has changed very little. I'm afraid that Emperor Zhao is not injured. There are rumors outside that he was poisoned by the begonia yin iron flower. He sought a breakthrough, but was backlashed and seriously injured. I feel that he may have arranged it himself, said the black-robed old man. It is possible that he wants to cause unrest in the martial arts world, and then he will suppress it again and steal more dragon luck. I haven't found out the details, but now that the princes are fighting for the throne, it is my chance. Drawing the dragon luck of the Zhao family will allow me to complete the cultivation of the Xianx and Dragon Soul method. As long as I complete this, I will be able to break through the second level of the secret book of longevity. After entering the heavenly gate, I will have a chance to choose my master. I won't say much about the matter, you will know in the future. But the first step is to kill the servants beside Fang Huoyuan, and not let them fall into Zhu Pingsheng's hands. You can arrange this plan. I won't participate. This is my secret order. You can mobilize my 2 great protectors. After that, a golden token appeared in the black-robed man's hand. Put it on the table. Then he stood up and disappeared in the hall in a blink of an eye. Senior sister, leave the token with you first. Gongsun Mingjing said. Yan Ruiyu didn't hesitate to put the token away. Sister, I'll go back to the palace first. I think you will order me to see you tomorrow, and I'll take you to the palace then. Gongsun Mingjing told Yan Ruiyu. In the hall, only Yan Ruiyu was left, her brows furrowed. Master, you have been planning for so long, is it really, just to see some of the dragon luck of the great Zhao dynasty? Yan Ruiyu murmured. From the words, it can be seen that Yan Ruiyu does not want to believe the words of the black-robed man. Chapter 846, Li Han Qiu poaches people, Emperor Zhao becomes suspicious. 36 alien races ancestral manner. In a secret room, a hint of surprise flashed in Su Chen's eyes. Just now, when he was intercepting the fortunes of the 36 alien races, he vaguely absorbed a black fortune. This black fortune was a little weak, and when he absorbed it, this black fortune had gradually disappeared, as if someone else was absorbing it. What's going on? Su Chen murmured. Then he sensed the dragon shadow in his body. It's almost there. I didn't expect that absorbing the fortunes of the 36 alien races would be similar to the fortunes of the Holy Sword Lake. According to this, I have to absorb another force of this before I can condense the dragon shadow. Su Chen was slightly disappointed. Of course, at this moment, Su Chen was not in a hurry. He had a general understanding of the situation above the Shineman from Li Han Qiu. To be honest, the Shineman was not suitable for him for the time being. He stood up and walked out of the secret room. Yuan Suan was waiting outside the secret room. Take me to see the evil god, Su Chen said to Yuan Suan. Regarding the territories of the 36 alien races and the Lai family, Ling Luoxi and Cao Feng were given the responsibility. This time, the Qinglang Society and the Beggars Sect joined forces to take action. The 36 alien races and the remnants of the Lai family will also be dealt with later. Master Li, in the secret room not far away, Yuan Suan said. Soon, Su Chen and Yuan Suan came to the outside of a secret room. Li Wuxi was sitting cross-legged on a cushion. There was still a dark smell of burning on his body, which showed that the power of thunder and lightning above the Shineman was strong. However, Li Wuxi's heart was beating very actively, emitting a terrifying life force. Sensing Su Chen's approach, Li Wuxi opened his eyes and opened the stone door. Master, Li Wuxi said. How is the power of thunder and lightning of Shineman? Can you still sense the situation above Shineman? Su Chen entered the secret room and asked. The power of thunder and lightning is very strong. If I hadn't been able to maintain a little bit of intelligence, my physical strength alone would not be able to resist the power of thunder and lightning. I can only use my strength to destroy the heavenly gate. As for the heavenly gate, I sensed a little bit, but that little breath almost made my mind collapse. Outsiders saw that Li Wuxi used his body to resist the thunder and lightning of the heavenly gate, but he also released his perception to sense the situation inside the heavenly gate. Subordinates, wait until you recover and then explore again. If you explore a few more times, you should find more, Li Wuxi said. Still be careful, the heavenly gate should have sensed your breath. I don't know if it will be suppressed next time. Su Chen knew that after the broken level strongman took action, there would be stronger suppression. I will be careful. Li Wuxi nodded. At this time, outside Xianzhen City, Li Han Qiu was standing in a dense forest. He wore a veil on his face. A figure appeared in front of Li Han Qiu. Master, now, Beggar Gang, Cao Feng has left Xianzhen City and is heading towards Cheng County, the figure said after saluting. Leaving so soon? Did the Green Dragon Society young leader Su Chen meet with the Beggars Sect, Cao Feng? Li Han Qiu asked coldly. Cao Feng and Ling Luoxi have been dealing with the affairs of the 36 alien tribes, and no one else from the Green Dragon Society showed up. Cao Feng didn't go to see the Green Dragon Society young leader Su Chen either. The person replied. It seems that Cao Feng doesn't have much to do with this Green Dragon Society. Li Han Qiu said softly. From the information we got, there is no relationship between them. Master, I have something to ask, but I don't know if I should ask it or not, the figure in front of her said. No problem, Li Han Qiu said. I don't understand why the master cares so much about the beggar's sex Xiaofeng. The figure asked. Xiaofeng's divine power is extraordinary. He has completed the 18 dragon phantoms and can break the heaven gate with one hand. After entering the heaven gate, if he goes one step further and enters the transformation realm and condenses the 18 dragon domains, then in the transformation realm, I'm afraid only those with natural blood or imperial blood can compare to him. If such a person joins my life and death gate, he may become a powerful person. Maybe I can also use this person to avenge my blood feud, Li Hanqiu said. But the master of the tomb, Li Wuxi, Wang Zumi, Ling Luoshi, and Yuan Shizangsan of the Qinglang Society all have extraordinary divine power. Why don't we contact them? The visitor asked in confusion. I have met the young leader of the Green Dragon Society and he gives me a very unusual feeling. What's more, the Green Dragon Society is a powerful organization and it must have a foundation above Xianmen. If I poach their strong men, I will make enemies for myself. The beggar's sect is different. Judging from the situation, its combat power is not that strong. The matter of Xianxin City has been resolved. You issue the Tomb Master order to notify everyone outside the Dead Man's Tomb to return to the Dead Man's Tomb. This time I want to fully control the Dead Man's Tomb. I'll go see Xiaofeng first. We will meet at the Dead Man's Tomb later. After saying that, Li Hanqiu's figure turned into a residual shadow and left. The man in black also left quickly. At this time, in the imperial palace of the capital, Emperor Zhao suddenly opened his eyes, and a sharp light burst out from his eyes. Why do I have a bad premonition in my heart? Emperor Zhao murmured. Come here, summon Zhu Pingsheng and Xiandao people to come together. Emperor Zhao ordered. Yes. A figure quickly left the palace. After a while, Zhu Pingsheng and the man in black Taoist robes entered the palace. Xiandao Ren, when I was absorbing the energy of the evil dragon just now, I suddenly felt uneasy. Have you checked your fortune recently? Have you found anything? Emperor Zhao looked at Xiandao Ren and asked in a deep voice. The evil dragon's fortune has risen recently, causing the fortune of the rivers and lakes to change. Now forces appear frequently, and it is extremely chaotic. I can only check the overall trend for the time being. There is no major change in the overall trend now. Xiandao Ren replied immediately. Is that so? Hearing this, Emperor Zhao frowned slightly. Keep checking. If there is a major change, notify me immediately. Emperor Zhao ordered. Pingsheng, is there anything special happening here? Emperor Zhao then looked at Zhu Pingsheng. Your Majesty, recently, many major forces have emerged in the martial arts world, and the most active ones are Xian'ai Pavilion and Qinglang Club. The people of Xian'ai Pavilion occupied the Holy Sword Lake, and the people of Qinglang Club destroyed the Life family and the 36 alien tribes. Their strength is somewhat unexpected, but Xian'ai Pavilion lost a master in the battle against the Holy Sword Lake, which triggered the Heavenly Gate and forced them to leave. Also, the 9 absolute swordsmen Xianjiaju of Zhenwu Taoist Temple went to the Lingjiang area to discuss with Xian'ai Pavilion 10 Directions General Envoy Guan Yushan. Zhu Pingsheng briefly recounted what happened recently. It was beyond my expectation that Zhenwu Taoist Temple was brought up. Hearing this, Emperor Zhao's expression moved slightly. For these two forces, my subordinates are collecting all their personnel information, hoping to find out some of their backgrounds from these people's information. Zhu Pingsheng said. What are my sons doing? The changes in the Life family and the 36 alien tribes are also the time for them to take action, but I don't know if the 7th brother can hold on. Emperor Zhao said softly. Your Majesty, this matter should be able to attract many people, and it will not be difficult for the 7th palace to handle it. Zhu Pingsheng replied. When will King Chen return to the capital? After hearing Zhu Pingsheng's words, Emperor Zhao spoke. On the way back, but the people of the Eternal Life Society will move, and I hope to attract some important people this time. A gleam of light flashed in Zhu Pingsheng's eyes. The address is already known. To be honest, it doesn't matter whether these people are brought back or not. But he also brought Fang Huoyuan's entourage back. On the one hand, he wanted to further confirm. On the other hand, it was to entice the people of the Eternal Life Society to take action. Only by taking action can we know who they are and find the other party. Chapter 847, Sword vs. Sword Duel. One sword determines life or death. Late at night, the Huo family in Jiangbi let out a scream. Lights continued to appear. Outside the waters of the Huo family manor, two figures were standing. One was wearing a black robe, with a burly figure, holding a scimitar in his hand, hugging it in front of his chest. He was looking at the Huo family manor, which was brightly lit at the moment, but screaming. The other person was wearing a grey robe, 8 feet tall, with broad cheekbones, and his eyes half opened and half closed under his thick eyebrows, as if he had not woken up. With both hands, he was holding a wide long sword inserted in the ground. These two people were Ding Peng and Yan Nanshan from the Qinglang Society. After their strength increased, they came to Jiangnan. After hearing about the Huo family manor in Jiangbi, they took over the matter. Brother Yan, it is rumored that the ancestor of the Huo family is very powerful. I wonder if he can catch my scimitar, Ding Peng said. The Huo family can become the largest manor in Jiangbi. The ancestor's strength is definitely extraordinary and should not be underestimated. Yan Nanshan opened his eyes half opened and half closed, looking at the Huo family manor in the distance. Just as they were talking, a black figure appeared in front of the two. See you two dragon heads, we have confirmed the place where the ancestor of the Huo family is in seclusion. It is in the northwest corner of the Huo family manor. After saying that, the black figure took out a map of Huojia Manor from his arms and pointed to a place and said, "Take action against Huojia Manor." Yan Nanshan and Ding Peng dispatched the assassins of the Qinglang Society. After conquering the 3 major assassin organizations in Jiangnan, there are many assassins in the Qinglang Society. Destroying Huojia Manor is not just about killing the masters of the Huo family and letting the others of the Huo family run away. Leave the ancestor of the Huo family to us, and the others don't need to be alive, Ding Peng said. The voice was flat, without any fluctuations. As the leader of the demon cult, Ding Peng's murderous nature is very strong. Yes. The man in black quickly withdrew. Let's go and meet the ancestor of the Huo family. Ding Peng's eyes became hot. After his strength increased, he had not taken action yet. The two men moved their feet, treading on the water, heading towards the place where the ancestor of the Huo family was in seclusion. There was a rockery in the northwest corner of the Huo family manor. When Ding Peng and Yan Nanshan landed, they looked in one direction. Very fiery fist intent. Very strong sword intent. There are two people. Ding Peng and Yan Nanshan looked at each other and said, originally, they heard that the Huo family had only one ancestor, but from the breath they sensed, there were two people in seclusion. One was a boxing master, and the other was a sword master. Boom. The stone door was smashed by a powerful fist force, and the gravel flew. Then a burly man who looked about 50 years old walked out of it. Ding Peng looked at the other person. The true energy on the other person was like a fiery flame, and the flames shot up to the sky, emitting endless heat waves. The whole person was like a sun that jumped out of the ground and was rising slowly. His hair was also red. He practiced the extremely yang technique. The other person's sword intent soared into the sky. The sword intent on his body was not concealed at all. As soon as the sword intent appeared, it was rampant, causing the surrounding airflow to be broken. When the two appeared, their eyes looked at Ding Peng and Yan Nanshan. Who are you? How dare you come to my Huo family? The man with red hair looked at Ding Peng and the others and said, Qinglang Society, Ding Peng, Yan Nanshan, today we come to destroy the Jiangbi Huo family. Ding Peng and Yan Nanshan said at the same time. While talking, a terrifying blood-colored sword intent appeared on Ding Peng's body, soaring into the sky, causing the wind and clouds. Yan Nanshan's body was bursting with sword intent. The sword intent soared into the sky, colliding with the opponent's sword intent, and dispersing the opponent's sword intent. After dispersing, it did not go any further. Your sword intent is very strong. My name is Huo Jia, Huo Sijin. The man whose sword intent was dispersed spoke. The sword intent on his body, condensed again at this moment, condensed in his body, and nurtured sharp sword intent in various parts of his body. If other warriors appeared here, I'm afraid that they would feel a chill when they saw the other party. He sensed the sword intent on Yan Nanshan's body, sensing that the other party is a sword expert. So when he spoke, he stepped towards Yan Nanshan. I don't know whether your sword is stronger or mine is stronger. They also sensed the situation in Huo's manner, but they did not come out. A little thing. They came out. Then the title of Huo's first manner in Jiangbai would be lost. It's just that Ding Peng and Yan Nanshan showed up, and the aura on their bodies was not simple. They knew that a strong man had come, so they showed up. When he spoke, the blood, true energy, and mind in his body suddenly started to move quickly. The next moment, the long sword was unsheathed. One sword cut out. When this sword cut out, his blood, sword intent, killing intent, and true energy all merged together. In an instant, the sword energy in his hand burst out, turning into a white refining and cutting through the void, like a beam of white light in the dark night, shining around, filling the surrounding darkness, making people unable to look directly. Yan Nanshan looked at the sword. His eyes did not change at all. The long sword in his hand was also unsheathed. One sword cut. Yan Nanshan's sword came out. The white light that originally filled the world turned into darkness again in an instant. With one sword, the world was completely dark. But as the darkness appeared, two spots of light emerged in it. The two spots of light collided. Boom. Tearing the darkness apart. The sword was rampant. Kill. At this time, Huo Sijian, who had drawn his sword earlier, shouted. When he shouted, 4 sword shadows appeared behind him. 4 swords merge into one, man and sword merge into one, and one sword cuts the sky. Boom. The 4 sword shadows merged and condensed on the long sword in his hand, and finally his own spiritual energy merged with the long sword. With one sword, he slashed out. The terrifying sword energy burst out with a destructive force. There was only this sword left between heaven and earth. This sword was going to cut through everything between heaven and earth. When this sword energy cut through everything, Yan Nanshan made a move. One sword. He slashed out with another sword, and the sword was equally fierce, and the sword art burst out in full swing. In the sword art, Yan Nanshan, was not inferior to anyone. Otherwise, he would not be called the world's #1 sword. The sword came out, and the sword light shot up into the sky, like a soaring dragon. The sword energy collided with the sword energy, and the bravest one won. When they met on a narrow road, there was no trickery. They were going to win or lose with one sword. One sword decided life or death. The sword energy burst out. The mind, blood, and true energy were burning. The sword light crossed. In a flash, the two figures crossed. The sky and the earth became dim again. My sword is not as good as yours. Huo Sijian looked at Yan Nanshan and said. While speaking, the long sword in his hand broke, and the sword light burst out on his body. A mouthful of blood spurted out. The whole person fell to the ground and died. Looking at the fallen Huo Sijian, he sheathed the long sword and stood aside. The next opponent was not him to fight, but Ding Peng, second brother. Seeing Huo Sijian lying on the ground, the man with a hot breath roared. There were 4 brothers in their family, but only he and Huo Sijian survived until now. Now Huo Sijian died in front of him. I'm going to beat you to death. Boom. At this moment, the blood and ki of the red-haired man continued to explode in his body. As the blood and ki began to boil, a layer of terrifying flames appeared on his body, and his own true ki was also flowing at a high speed. At this moment, the red-haired man was like a fire god. Of course, under this terrifying power, the opponent's life was also extremely consumed. The opponent was desperate. If the enemy didn't die, he would die. Chapter 848. The Huo family in Jiangbai is destroyed. The Red Sun Palace is in panic, and the Miran family in Jiangnan. The mighty and surging power spread out. Fist, flame. The red-haired man shouted, and his body shot out, punching out with his fist. The terrifying and hot fist force was like a fire dragon wrapped in raging flames, attacking Ding Peng. It was not that he did not want to attack Yan Nanshan, but he was locked by Ding Peng's sword energy. If he did not attack Ding Peng would also attack him. The opponent punched. A black light flashed in Ding Peng's eyes. The demonic energy in his body rolled towards the scimitar in his hand. Swish. The scimitar was unsheathed. A black full moon appeared in the night sky. With a flash of light, the scimitar in his hand slashed out. When the scimitar came out, it was like a meteor, without any trajectory, but it was extremely fast, and appeared on his fist in the blink of an eye. Boom. The two forces collided. The sword intention, the demonic intention, and the fist intention and flame collided, just like the sun in the sunset. The collision of darkness and light. Although there was still residual light, the crescent moon was hanging, covering the sky, and covering the last ray of light. The terrifying demonic energy and sword intent burst out from Dingpeng. It formed a mighty aura, covering the opponent's fist intent and flames. The heat of the flames was like the sun, which could burn the sky and boil the sea. But Dingpeng's sword intent and demonic intent were like a peerless demon god, covering everything. The fist intent and flames shattered. Impossible. The red-haired man growled. He didn't believe that he would be defeated like this. Growl. He urged the power in his body to make a final struggle. The flame true energy was running rapidly, and his footsteps kicked the ground and his figure flew into the air. The power exploded in full force, and the whole person turned into a blazing meteor falling from the sky, carrying a blazing flame, and went heavily towards Dingpeng. He wanted to use his last strength to die with Dingpeng, but in this struggle, the moonlight shrouded the dark sky and earth, and only a piece of light could be seen. The intersection of light and flames, boom. A deafening sound of key explosion was heard in the air. In this explosion, the blazing meteor suddenly split into two. Ah! The red-haired man screamed. His body fell to the ground, and looked at Dingpeng. Swish! The whole body split into two. Dingpeng stood with a knife. His brows slightly frowned. I thought it would be a hard fight, but I didn't expect the strength of these two people to be weaker than we thought. Dingpeng said in a deep voice. With the two of them, plus the reputation of Huoji as hung over the years, it is still possible to sit in the JB area. Yan Nanshan said on the side. In the world of Jianghu, accumulation is also a kind of capital. This is why the old forces are so powerful. A warrior can be strong alone, but if he is alone, he will die. Because killing is not only about frontal killing and one-on-one fighting, there are many more. Sir, if you are here, just show up. At this time, Dingpeng looked at a place and said. A figure walked out of the darkness. The strength of the 5 dragon heads and the 6 dragon heads of the Qinglang Society is different from what the outside world says. I'm Mo Huozhen, the commander of Jiangbi, the Southern Pacification Division. I came here for no other purpose this time. I just sensed that something happened in Huojiazhuang, so I came to take a look. The person who appeared spoke. Dingpeng looked at the figure who walked out. He was wearing the robe of the commander of the Southern Pacification Division, with an elegant face and a thin figure, looking like a weak scholar. But there was a terrifying aura emanating from his body, which showed that this person was not simple. This is the grudge between me, Qinglang Society, and the Huo family. Commander Mo wants to intervene. Dingpeng looked at Mo Huozhen and said, the 6 dragon heads are joking. Our Southern Pacification Division will not participate in this matter. But the Jiangbi Huo family has always led the Jiangbi martial arts world. If something happens, I will come to see it. I already know about the matter, so I will inform you first. After speaking, Mo Huozhen clasped his fists and turned to leave. What do you think of this person? Looking at Mo Huozhen who was leaving, Dingpeng looked at Yan Nanshan and said, this person's strength is a little stronger than the ancestor of the Huo family. The strength of the commander of the Jiangbi Pacification Division is much stronger than that of ordinary places. Yan Nanshan said. It is rumored that the commander of the Pacification Division who is stationed in Jiangnan is a confidant of Emperor Zhao, and his strength is even more extraordinary. There are many turmoil in Jiangnan now, but that person has not shown up. Dingpeng said. Let's go and see if there are any other people in the Huo family who can take action. To wrap up, we still have to rush to the Red Sun Palace, Yan Nanshan said. Late at night, the Huo family manor was on fire, and screams continued, foreshadowing the end of the first manor in Jiangbi. At this moment, the mansion of the commander of the Jiangbi South Pacification Division, Mo Huozhen, appeared in the mansion, in the study, with a solemn expression. Master, what happened in the Huo family manor? A woman with light makeup walked into the study, looking very anxious. The Huo family is finished. It was the Qinglang Society, who attacked the Huo family, Mo Huozin said in a deep voice. The Qinglang Society attacked the Huo family, but you didn't. The woman said after hearing this. If I did, I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to come back. The 5 dragon heads and the 6 dragon heads of the Qinglang Society have appeared. The strength of these 2 people is completely different from what we got before. Their strength is terrifying. I'm afraid they are very strong in the top sea of concentration. Mo Huozin said. How could this happen? Hearing this, the lady's face turned pale. Then can we save some of the direct descendants of the Huo family? The woman said. We should not interfere in this matter. If we interfere, we may not be able to save our Mo mansion. Don't leave the mansion recently. You are a member of the Huo family. Although not many people know about this matter, you still have to be careful. Wait until everything is stable, and then look for any descendants of the Huo family who have escaped. Mo Huozin said. The Huo family is the largest manor in Jiangbi, and many relationships are secret. The leader of the Jiangbi Nan Pacification Division is the son-in-law of the Huo family, but few people know about this matter. Should we just let the Qinglang Society destroy our Huo family? The lady showed an unwilling look on her face. Recently, the Qinglang Society has been active in the Jiangnan area, and the lord of the division has already complained a little. I will leave tomorrow to go to the Jiangnan Pacification Division to see the lord of the division and see his attitude. Mo Huozin said. The Jiangnan and Jiangbi Pacification Divisions are both under the leadership of the lord of the Jiangnan Pacification Division. Mo Huozin's own strength is simply not enough to compete with the Qinglang Society, so he has to go to see the lord of the Jiangnan Pacification Division. The lady beside him sighed. The next day, the news that the Huo family village was destroyed by the Qinglang Society spread quickly. Soon it spread to Jiangnan, and Chitty Palace Lord Kaizinayang sat in the main chair. His face was gloomy. The death of the ancestor of the Chiri Palace in Xianxin City had already made the people of the Chiri Palace panic. Now the Jiangbi Huo family has been destroyed. The only force left to deal with the young leader of the Blue Dragon Society that day was the Red Sun Palace. This made the people in the Red Sun Palace even more unstable. Many people secretly left the Red Sun Palace headquarters temporarily. This made the Red Sun Palace master angry, but also helpless. Palace master, this is not a solution. We can't stop it with our strength. Next to the Red Sun Palace master, a middle-aged man in a brocade robe spoke up. This is another deputy palace master of the Red Sun Palace, named Looming. The ancestor has fallen, and we can't compete with the Blue Dragon Society with our strength. What can you do? The Red Sun Palace Master Kaizinayang spoke up. Palace Master, Murong Xingchen, the current head of the 7 Stars Hall, has always had a good impression of the eldest lady. We can let the eldest lady go to see Murong Xingchen and see if Murong Xingchen can come forward and ask the Murong family to mediate. Looming said. Jia, she. Kaizinayang frowned slightly. I'll go see Jia, we'll talk later. After thinking for a moment, Kaizinayang sighed. He didn't expect that his Red Sun Palace would end up in this situation. Chapter 849, 8 Evil's True Body Skills. Above the Heavenly Gate, the Gate of Life and Death, Xianjiaju appears. Xianxin City Su Chen sat on a pavilion. In the past 2 days, Su Chen read all the treasures and some books in the ancestral land of the 36 alien races. But he didn't get much reward. He only got 5 orange lottery cards. There are not many ways to get rewards like this. Su Chen couldn't help but sighed in his heart. Looking at the 5 orange lottery cards he got, Su Chen couldn't help but draw them directly. Get the exclusive character Ling Luoxi of the 8 Evils True Body Skill. Get the Sad Bow exclusive to Yuan 13th limit. Get the exclusive character Liu Sheng Yijian of 1 drop of demon blood. Get the 1 key protecting Yuan Dan. Get the Liang Divine Pearl, the exclusive character of the evil god Li Wuxi. HMM. This time the rewards are a bit targeted. Su Chen couldn't help but check the rewards of the 8 Evils True Body Skill and Ling Luoxi. 8 Fierce Real Body Skill, a skill that condenses 8 kinds of ferocious beasts, which can increase one's own ferocity, physical strength, and the true ki of the whole body. Every time a ferocious beast is condensed, it can increase the attack power by 10% when attacking. When 8 kinds of ferocious beasts are condensed and finally merged into one, a drop of ferocious beast blood can be born. The specific blood is unknown. This skill is quite awesome. Su Chen thought to himself. This is definitely to increase Ling Luoshi's murderous nature. Ling Luoshi has a strong murderous nature. Now he is practicing this, combined with his own ferocity, the 4 doors of the screen. This is to kill and disturb the world. Heartbroken bow. Su Chen checked. The sad little arrow is a skill that uses ki as arrows, but now the system has created a sad bow. What is this for? However, after checking, Su Chen's eyes condensed. Because this sad bow is a top level weapon, as long as UN13 limits continues to nourish it, it is possible to break through to the spirit level. Of course, it is not mainly this point, but this sad bow can double the attack power of the sad little arrow. The sad arrow, which is already very strong, will burst out with a powerful and terrifying force under this blessing. Yiki Huo and An, a kind of elixir that can protect the heart as long as there is still a breath. This thing is suitable for the evil god Li Wuxi. After being struck by Shineman Thunder, Li Wuxi is ready to continue. The last one. The Liang Divine Pearl is an instrument level treasure that can assist in cultivation and increase the power of attack. It is itself a treasure of Li Wuxi. 1 drop of demon blood. The demon blood in Liu Shengaijian's body has stabilized, and another drop. The strength is gradually increasing. Is this going to turn Liu Shengaijian into a demon king? Su Chen thought in his heart. My lord. The Huo family in Jiangbei has been destroyed. However, there has been no change in the Jiangbei Jianghu. Mo Huozhen, the commander of the Jiangbei Pacification Division, left Jiangbei and went to Jiangnan after the Huo family disappeared. He should go to see the head of the Jiangnan Pacification Division. Yuan Suan said. The Huo family in Jiangbei has been destroyed. How can he go to see the head of the Jiangnan Pacification Division? Su Chen couldn't help but ask. The Jiangbei Pacification Division is under the jurisdiction of the Jiangnan Pacification Division. The head of the Jiangnan Pacification Division is equal to the head of the Jingxi Pacification Division. Yuan Suan said, is that so? They haven't had a conflict with us yet, so let's ignore them for now. Mirren King Chen brought the servants of the Eternal Life Association back to the capital. Where is he now? Su Chen asked afterwards. It will take almost 4 days to reach the capital. If the people of the Eternal Life Association want to take action, they should do so in these 2 days. Pay close attention. The Changsheng Association is related to the Heavenly Gate. Don't be careless. Su Chen ordered. My lord, Boss Kao sent a letter saying that Li Han Qiu invited him to join the Life and Death Gate. Join the Life and Death Gate? Su Chen was a little stunned when he heard this. Isn't Li Han Qiu the head of the Tomb of the Dead? How could he invite Kao Feng to join the Life and Death Gate? Li Han Qiu invited Boss Kao to join the Life and Death Gate above the Heavenly Gate. Boss Kao means that he has decided to accept Li Han Qiu's invitation. Yuan Suan said Kao Feng's thoughts. Su Chen now knows too little about the Heavenly Gate. If Kao Feng joins the Gate of Life and Death above the Heavenly Gate, it will also open a channel for Su Chen. Kao Feng can make the decision on this matter, and the Beggar's sect can follow him. Su Chen said, after thinking for a moment. Yes, then I will pass on the master's intention to Kao Feng, and I also got news that Shan Jiaju, the 9 absolute swordsman of the Zen Wu Taoist temple, has arrived in Lingjiang city. Yuan Suan said. Shan Jiaju has arrived in Lingjiang district. Does he want to be beaten to death by Guan Yushan? If Shan Jiaju is beaten to death by Guan Yushan, will the Zen Wu Taoist temple end? Su Chen murmured. Guan Yushan's strength has never been fully demonstrated. Shan Jiaju, as the elder of the Zen Wu Taoist temple, is extraordinary, but Guan Yushan's strength will exceed everyone's imagination. The capital has had little news recently. Is there no movement from the several princes? Su Chen said. The capital is a little too quiet now. It seems like everyone is waiting. But according to Beichao's guess, the servants of the Eternal Life Association entering the capital this time, and our extermination of the 36 alien tribes of the Life family, is the beginning of unrest. Yuan Suan said. Is that so? Send me some news from the capital, and we will set off tomorrow to Suchen where the Red Sun Palace is located. Now the center of the Green Dragon Association is in the Jiangnan area, so Chen is preparing to gradually merge the Green Dragon Association personnel in the Lingjiang area into Jiangnan. Let the Jiangnan area become the center of the Green Dragon Association. The 9 northern counties are a little small, and the resources and warriors are not very strong. Jiangnan and the capital are the 2 main points. This can be seen from the distribution of the strength of the Jianghu strongmen. He went to Suchen, mainly to intercept the fortune of the Red Sun Palace. Now the dragon shadow in his body has not yet formed, so he must intercept some fortune as soon as possible. As long as the condensation is successful, he doesn't have to run around in person. At this time, another place Lingjiang, Chiangsha City, outside the city, on a small hill, Mu Qingxun, Upiu, Mu Yuanping, and Yang Yanlan appeared in front of a Taoist temple in the mountains. The temple is called Chang'an Temple, a very ordinary Taoist temple that has existed outside Chiangsha City for a long time. The temple is not big, with only a dozen Taoists who rarely go down the mountain and usually practice in seclusion. They don't ask about the affairs of the martial arts world. They only accept incense. But this Chang'an Temple is a branch of the Zenwu Taoist temple. Several donors. Are you burning incense or praying for blessings? At this time, a young Taoist boy came forward. A token appeared in Mu Qingxun's hand, and a word Zen was engraved on the token. Take us to see Elder Jiaju. Mu Qingxun said. Please. The Taoist boy was ready to lead the 4 people into the temple. Junior Sister Mu, Master Yu is not a member of our Taoist sect, so it is not suitable for him to see his uncle for the time being. Let's arrange for Master Yu to go to the wing room first. Yang Yanlan spoke at this time. Mu Qingxun's face changed slightly, and she wanted to say something. Junior sister, it would be better if we wait until we meet the uncle and ask for his permission before letting Master Yu meet him. Yang Yanlan said hurriedly. There was nothing wrong with what he said. I'll go to the wing room first. I'll see Senior Jiaju later. Upiu said calmly. Upiu was not very interested in meeting Jiaju Sword. Jiaju Sword went down the mountain and caused trouble for Guan Yushan, which was destined to have only one ending. That was to be beaten to death. Chapter 850, Shan Jiaju, coming to the door, fighting for life and death. In a side room in the backyard of the Taoist temple, the sandalwood incense was curling. 2 figures were sitting inside, drinking tea. Both were wearing Taoist robes. One of them had an old face, but his hair was black, and he didn't have any aura, as if he didn't know martial arts. The person sitting opposite him had a younger face than the old Taoist, black hair, a sharp aura, and sword lights flashed in his eyes from time to time. He was a sword master. Junior brother Chang'an, your Taishan King Heart Sutra seems to be about to be completed. The man with sword lights flashing in his eyes said. Senior brother Jiaju, it's still a little short, but it may take several years to complete that point. Senior brother Jiaju, are you really going to compete with Guan Yushan when you come to Chiangsha City this time? Now Xian'an Pavilion is very famous in the martial arts world. Once you take action, I'm afraid my Zenwu Taoist temple will have to join this martial arts dispute. The old Taoist called Chang'an said. The old Taoist is the Chang'anzi, the master of Chang'an Temple. The other person is the chief elder of Zenwu Taoist Temple, Jiajujian, Shan Jiaju. My disciple was killed. If I, the master, don't come forward, the reputation of Zenwu Taoist Temple will be ruined. If the reputation is ruined, the fortune of Zenwu Taoist Temple will be taken away by others. So sometimes, we have no choice but to take action. What's more, the changes in the martial arts world of the Great Zhao dynasty may have something to do with Emperor Zhao. The master of the temple has never understood why Emperor Zhao did this. I came down the mountain this time to understand the situation. Shan Jiaju said in a deep voice. Wouldn't it be better for junior brother Yang Zhu to do this? He has been in the capital for so long. He should be more familiar with the situation in the capital. Hearing this, the Chang'an Taoist said. He is complaining to the headmaster about the matter of Zenwu Garden. He hopes to take that step and enter the heavenly gate. Shan Jiaju said in a deep voice. Junior brother Yang Zhu, his talent is second only to the headmaster. He should be able to pass the second level of assessment of the Zhenwu Temple after he enters the Heaven Gate. If he passes the second level of assessment, he should be able to become a candidate for the core disciple of the Zhenwu Temple. If he wants to go, the headmaster can let him enter the Heaven Gate. Chang Chen Taoist said in a deep voice. It is because of his extraordinary talent that the headmaster hopes to make further progress. He is about to master the Zuanwu true divine art. As long as he masters it, and then takes the true blood of the Taoist guardian beast Zuanwu, he may be able to cultivate a trace of Zuanwu bloodline. As long as he refines a trace of Zuanwu bloodline, he can directly become a core disciple, and have the hope of impacting the true seed. The headmaster is doing this for his own good. The danger up there is very high. Our lineage does not have much power, and the core candidate disciples have a high chance of falling. Shan Jiaju sighed. Is it so dangerous up there now? Are other tribes attacking our Zhenwu temple in large numbers? Hearing this, Chang Chen Taoist asked in shock. It's not other tribes that are advancing, but the evil god palace that was destroyed by the Zhenwu temple that year has reappeared. Now the two sides are fighting. I don't know the specific situation very well. Our lineage is weak in the Zhenwu temple and has become the vanguard, Shan Jiaju said. While they were talking, the Taoist boy outside brought Mu Kingsuan and the others to the side room. Master, the main body wants to see Elder Jiaju. The Taoist boy spoke outside the door. It should be Kingsuan and Yanlun who have arrived. Please let them in, Shan Jiaju said. Creak, the side room was opened. Mu Kingsuan and the other two walked in. Greetings to Uncle Jiaju. Greetings to Uncle Changchen. The three of them saluted the two people in the room at the same time. How was Kingsuan's trip to the Holy Sword Lake? That was a big battle. It should be of great help to you. Shan Jiaju looked at Mu Kingsuan and said. Mu Kingsuan's face flushed slightly when she heard this. Because of Upiu, she didn't go to the Holy Sword Lake at all, and she didn't see that battle. Seeing Mu Kingsuan's slightly flushed face, Shan Jiaju's expression changed slightly, and when he was about to ask, Yang Yanlun, who was standing by, said, Uncle Jiaju, junior sister Kingsuan, I recently met someone named Upiu. When the battle broke out in Shengjian Lake, junior sister Kingsuan was with Upiu, so she didn't rush over. Shan Jiaju's expression changed slightly when he heard Yang Yanlun's words. He guessed something from Mu Kingsuan's expression and Yang Yanlun's words. That person also came to Xiangsha City with us and has been arranged in another wing. Uncle Jiaju can meet him and help junior sister Kingsuan check. Yang Yanlun continued. Kingsuan, this place doesn't belong to you. Sometimes you can't delay yourself for love. Shan Jiaju said. Mu Kingsuan is different from others. Shan Jiaju can ignore other people, but Mu Kingsuan's identity is not simple, and nothing can happen to her. Uncle Jiaju, I will make the decision on this matter. Mu Kingsuan said when she heard Shan Jiaju's words. The matter has been told by Yang Yanlun. Then she doesn't need to hide it. Besides, no one in Zhenwu Taoist Temple can interfere with her affairs. Kingsuan, of course you can make your own decisions about your affairs. I'll go see that person when I have time. Seeing the change in Mu Kingsuan's expression, Shan Jiaju hurriedly said. The two uncles can meet after they are done. I won't disturb them. Mu Kingsuan nodded, then bowed slightly and left the room. You follow Kingsuan. I'll find you later. Shan Jiaju said to Yang Yanlun and Mu Yuanping. The two hurriedly bowed and left the room. I didn't expect that Kingsuan would be moved by the experience this time. This matter still needs to be reported to the headmaster as soon as possible, Shan Jiaju said. Brother Jiaju, it is human nature for young men and women to have a long-lasting love affair, and this is also part of the training. Although Kingsuan's identity is not ordinary, excessive intervention will backfire, which will be even worse at that time. Brother Jiaju, if you want to meet Guan Yushan now, you should focus on this. Although I didn't ask about the Jianghu affairs in the Lingjiang area, I also know Guan Yushan. He is more domineering than the previous Xiangsha League leader Bu Yongxiao, and he should not be underestimated. Chang Chen Taoist said. I know. But there are many people in the temple who hope that Yanlun and Kingsuan can be together. The love affair between young men and women cannot be achieved by matchmaking. From Kingsuan's expression, she likes that person very much. Brother Jeju, you still need to go to Xiangsha City tomorrow. I will go to help you meet the other party first. Changchen Taoist said. Then I'll trouble junior brother Changchen. I really need to contain my sword tonight. Shan Jeju said. Chang Chunzi got up and walked out of the wing room. Inside the house, Shan Jeju moved to a cushion. Sitting cross-legged, he began to cultivate his own breath. Tomorrow he would go into the city to see Guan Yushan. Once they fought, it might be a fight of life and death. This was the Jianghu. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.